good. Hey everyone, I'm a little early today because I'm a little excited. You might not, know what the game I'm going to be playing today is, but it's special. It's called Asagao Academy. It's a game that I've been following for a while. It's a dating sim, but it's nothing like Hatu Full Boyfriend, please. No, never that again. It's, for who you're dating is people of normal boots, so people like JonTron, Pro Jared, PBG, and the Completionist, like a whole bunch of other, and they also have some of the cast members from Hidden Block, which is Space Hamster, Brutal Moose, and I forget who else is in this. So I've been deathly watching this game for the longest of time, and it just came out, I think, a few hours ago, and I'm going to be the first one who streams it because, I don't know, I'm a scrub. Let's open it up. I haven't tested to see if it works. We're gonna get ear blasted, guaranteed. Come on, game. Load. Add source. Come on, quickly. Quickly. Ah, my ears. I can't hear a thing. And you guys can't see a thing. Hold on. What the fuck is this shit? I have not even looked at this game yet. Oh, fucking Did You Know Gaming. I forgot to use it. Okay, this is fucking Hatu Full Boyfriend again. Hashtag Jared is not smutty enough. I'm sick. Youngtown. Try to see who I recognize. Again. What did I get myself into? Oh.
Asagao Academy, Normal Boots Club.
I know that. That's Jimmy. That's Jimmy Wetzel. All right, let's configure. I'm gonna set some. Music's far too fucking loud. Voice. There's gonna be voices. All right, let's listen. Chapter 1. Please don't be another Hatu Full Boyfriend. The train made its along a gentle curve of the coast of Japan, whisking me farther and farther away from home. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced in what article he was reading and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked I could join him the last compartment with any available space. He shrugged and nodded and adjusted his newspaper without making eye contact. It's been almost an hour, in fact, and he hasn't once looked at me. Devoid of conversation, I took counting the buttons on his previously lush Carmine cushions. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, and over again. I can't tell if the audio is good. I've moved my mic. Now and again, he looked out the window, and there were trees blurring by, sometimes smeared with the green and bleak reveal of the quite blue Sea of Japan. Eventually, this rapidly made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. 1, 2, 3. The train compartment shuddered around us. My eyes wandered to the boy in his jacket. It wasn't the school issue blue that that I and the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was green, varsity light jacket embroidered with patchy suit on front. Did they fucking get Pro Jared to go, Why am I stuck with Mr. Smut here? So you're a first year. He folded his newspaper. So, Pro Jared is a sassy motherfucker. Okay. He folded his newspaper neatly, set it in his lap, and looked at me with a half-intent gaze. Did you just catch me staring? Oh no, Senpai, please. Now the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me thoroughly, heavily lidded eyes. His hair was immaculately groomed, his steep trait blindingly bright. There was something about them, the way the light hit him, that made him look almost sparkling. Me? They fucking got Pro Jared giggle. I wonder if they have this for all the characters. I know for a fact that he probably did some because he was one who was like promoting this project. He glanced around the compartment, empty besides us, and laughed. Oh no, I'm not the first year, I'm a third year. The train began to slow, its metals groaning against the metal tracks. Sudden shift robbed me whatever left was in my stomach, but I closed my eyes in deep breath, willing to make myself keep it together. Okay, my mic is like very far away from me, so maybe that's better. Oh god, no. My pop filter, please. Please work. I have to rip it. I'm gonna do this. The boy frowned. I picked the hem of my cotton shirt. That's not possible. I've never seen you before. It took me a moment of mouth fishing to find a response. Fuck the pop filter. It's because I'm a transfer student? He laughed again. A transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptance letter from my front pocket of my uniform. The paper heavyweight off. Including why is my mouse is laggy for some reason. Ceased reading my rereading as words might have changed the last time I read it. The boy took it, studied, and handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
Bro, Jared, please. No. I see you enough on Tumblr. I know what you're really like. You're nothing like this in real life. Well then, Hannah, I suppose I'll be seeing you around. He smiled at me and picked up his suitcase lying next to him. By the time I hiccuped a response, he was already gone from the compartment. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then I realized having gotten from my acceptance letter, he knew my name and I never got his. The train settled at the station. I filed up with the rest of uniformed students. It was early April and the last frost of winter had come and gone. The trees were already green and their leaves were shivering, the occasional gust weaving through them. Air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. I walked along the road with a swarm of blue-jacketed bodies, looking at little groups breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing, so animated and laying around me. I held my suitcase tight between my sweaty hands. It was leather-bound and warm more than anything it contained. It wasn't too far from the school. I was, maybe, for the first time in my life, thankful I didn't that. You know what it means, you're reading it. My school issued black Oxford clicked on the pavement. I walked over my mind. So many nights I lay awake imagining what it'd be like to walk from the train to Asagao Academy for the first time. My new start. I always imagined everything would change for me on this walk. That somehow everything would magically be different. But as I looked around, I realized I'm a little sick today. Nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I almost forgot about the disappointing slouching in the back of my throat. The school faded by the gate's twisting metal, and it was beautiful as glossy photos I saw in its pamphlets. This was it. Asagao Academy. I glanced around the swarm of students gathered around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people, okay, I thought I read that wrong, bounced around the academy's main building. A girl pressed a button to one side of the gate, and the excitement in the air was almost palpable. A few minutes later, the black gate with great effort creaked outwards and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted into motion, I followed along, a sheep in the herd. My stomach tied itself into knots. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked. A tired old man with gray hair called out for first years. A cluster of fresh faced students gathered around him. Tall boy. Hey, look at that girl. I turned around a few feet away, and the small boys were pointing at me and snickering. Posh boy. Pink hair, are you kidding me? How desperate can you get? Hot shame crawled down my neck. I attached myself to a group of girls, falling a few steps behind them. In a distance, Tiana's hummed in the time to my shoes crunchy against gravel. My hair. It wasn't my fault that my hair looked like this. Luckily, I'm a main character, so automatically I'm the center of attention, which is why I have pink hair. Luckily, I found myself in the girls' don't return with a large sign in the lawn reading Prismo House. Is my dog barking? Because that's just fucking fantastic. The building dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. How many students did Asagao have? I approached the building. A red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. I looked away, then looked back. She was staring at me. And then she pulled out a knife. Then she walked over.
Oh, you must be my roommate!
I wasn't expecting voices. I eyed her wildly. She was smiling, bouncing in a way suggested her views on life were akin to perpetual bounty counts. Why are there so many hard words?
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. Let me guess. Room 3225? I thought back to the paper I received a month prior with a list of all the supplies I needed for the year and my dorm arrangements. Yeah, that's right. She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. She was laughing at me? When I found out my roommate was a transfer student, I knew that you were going to be a total main character. The fucking pink hair, I called it! I'm sorry. A what?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw you outside the gate, I knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair. I felt the lump folding in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me, and I spent more than 5 minutes on the campus already being mocked. My hands began to tremble. Is there something wrong? Oh, she's crying! Oh my god! I feel bad for her. Her face slackened from its amused smile to more worried expression. Then she began to laugh again. No, it's great.
No. It's great. I'm sorry. We're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we? Oh gosh. I'm Mai Sasaki. You must be Hana.
I bowed my head.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, Mai. All your school books are waiting in our room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad. Mai started walking towards the dorm front doors. I followed behind like a lost puppy. Did you check into the front desk already? No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to. Good. They're offer. I have a staff matter to give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around. We won't get many transfer students in year 3, you know. Is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate our room. I started already. I hope you don't mind. But I did wait to string the lights as I thought we could do it together, you know? She spoke quickly, but the words bumbling from her mouth left me no time to answer upon her monologue. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. She held the front door open for me and I hurried inside. Girls filed up down the hallway, howling greetings, exchanging vagueness more often than not. How was your break? And look how tan you got. It seemed like everybody knew each other. I followed Mai as she led me down the maze of students and head up the two flights of stairs. Each dorm room was locked in the same last narrow white doors lining both sides of the pale pink walls. Thin, gold numbers were tacked on the front of each, the numbers rising as we climbed. You're not missing anything with the campus tour, I promise, Miss Satomo. Does them every year, and he's like totally dull. He just drags you around the entire campus and that talks in that weird squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I smiled, trying to let him calm my nerves. Thanks. When do we get to the fucking? We headed down the hallway on the 3rd floor, and Mai stopped us in front of a door number 32125. Here we are. That's a butt. That's a booty. And she said that she didn't string up the lights yet, fucking liar! A faint smell of potpourri wafted through the room. The walls, like that hallway, were soft, powdery pink. Maya already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazine cutouts, and photographs. Is that a picture of Bro Jared? He has no shame. Some of the photos were cats, but most of them male models and rugged musicians. A bunk bed, 2 writing desks and wooden chairs, a small dresser, and a mere vanity were clearly provided by the school and were the only pieces of furniture in this tiny room. The top bed was already covered with neat blankets and throw pillows, catching with the patterns and colors. The bottom bunk had a soft, stiff-looking pillow and a tin cotton blanket that I didn't need touch to know was horribly itchy. It must have been Grimish because Mile quickly smiled at me. I brought way too many pillows and blankets. I always overpack. I went to Italy over the break and Mom got really mad at me because I bought 5 bags of pillows. But we were over there for a week? What? Pulled several blankets and pillows for her bunk and rearranged them neatly on mine. A sudden twinge of guilt and embarrassment hit me.
Perfection.
There, that much better. Thanks, Mai. Oh, Senpai. You will be my Senpai. Fuck those other guys. Let's be lesbians together. I placed my suitcase on the bottom bunk and began to unpack its contents. Several changes of clothing, pens and pencils, an empty notebook, and a few photographs of my father. A dilapidated stuffed rabbit, an portable radio, and a small black box. Mai opened the curtains and sunlight pours in. So, where are you from? I'm from Canada. But I don't know from here because apparently we're in Japan. I slid down the now empty suitcase under the bottom bunk. About 2 hours north of here, it's a small town called Asagao. I don't speak Japanese. You probably haven't heard of it. I set the stuffed rabbit, Mr. Bunny, on my bedside and a purple teal throw puddle. Oh, did you go to a different boarding school or? No, I went to a public school down the street from my house. Public school? What was it like? Were the students mean? Did you have a lot of friends? I always went to private schools. My parents work a lot, and my dad goes to overseas, so I think they stuck me here for convenience. Oh, hey, what's that? I moved an ordinary pattern origami crane from the black box and was setting it on the unclaimed writing desk. My mother made it for me a long time ago. I set it beside a stack of thick textbooks where I soon provided for me.
Aww.
Wow, that's so pretty. I've never seen paper like that before. Oh yeah, the lights. Let me get them. Mai went to her own desk and opened her drawer and pulled a long, tangled string of fairy lights. I thought these would look nice here. Help me string them up. She grabbed a container of push pins and put the and pulled them from the wooden desk out and over into the wall. I did the same with my own. Together we pinned the lights around the perimeter of the room. How was the train ride over? Did you meet anyone? No, not really. I was in a compartment with some guy and...
What?
Some guy, huh? Was he cute? Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was really paying attention and I didn't get his name. Mai seemed disappointed for a moment and pricked back up. You'll have to point him out to me when you see him again. Okay. Once we were finished stringing the lights, Mai calmed down from her chair and brushed her hands together triumphantly.
Yeah!
Done. Okay, now it's time for lunch. The food is here pretty good. There will be this ramen place down the street for the campus that's like totally out of this world. Maybe I should give her a voice. But the school only lets us leave campuses on weekends. Mai walked to the window. We could go today because it's Sunday and it's pretty nice out, but I guess you might want to go to the caf because you're here and we could. She was suddenly interrupted by her own enthusiastic laughter. Oh my gosh, Mini Santa just totally tripped outside and fell on her face. I saw it. Oh, is it mean to laugh? Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh well. Anyways, let's go eat. I'm like totally starved. I'm gonna be doing that when JonTron comes up. She let me out the room before I even had a chance to respond. The cafeteria was buzzing with students excited for the new year. The only people who was nervous looking as I felt were tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped in the line behind Mai, taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking helpings for sulky cafeteria workers when we passed through something that looked good. With full trays, Mai led me straight to the table in the back where a few students were already sitting. Mai sat down and took a seat across from her. Who the fuck is this? I don't have a voice for you. I have like a bitchy kind of thing, which is probably not right for Mai, whatever. Hi, Mai. How was your break? It was good. I went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a ski jet and broke his ankle.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, though. Oh. Well, that's nice. I expect to be introduced. This girl turned back to her group of friends, and Mai turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me on practically minute-by-minute account about her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go further than a few salty kisses. I sat back and let Mai talk. For the first time since arriving on campus, I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked up my Brussels sprouts. I actually like Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are given a bad name, man. And study as Mai as she spoke. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her.
Well...
She had a high songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic and her face was twisting in the way so exaggerated her expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people wildly unflattering voices. Oh, definitely doesn't sound like me when I'm trying to read off this shit. I'm seemingly unrelated to her with actual opinion of them. Fucking Basil. The most notable, she talked a lot. Oh, okay, this is my fucking sister, everyone. Say hi to my sister. Immediately as they said talked a lot, that was just, it's my sister. I'm gonna do my sister's voice, because I sound exactly like her when I do that little, oh my god, kind of thing. I didn't find this particularly annoying, as it filled the silence, and she hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. As Mai was rounding off shockingly detailed account about the time she accidentally walked in her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a familiar flash green caught my eye. I glanced over. Hey, that's him! Huh? Oh, huh? Here. I leaned him across the table to whisper just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the fucking lunchroom. The boy from the train, that's him. Ah. That's from him.
What?
Jared? Yeah, that guy with the weird drink fucking swoopy hair. He just picked up his tray and was walking past it with something seemed to catch his eye. Jared, you salty bastard! You're still sparkling! Oh, you? I want to see if I can do my best. I looked up at his son. What the fuck? I'm bored. I'm sorry, I'm sick today. What kind of fucking porn music is this? I'm fucking dying, man. Yes, this is the Normal Boots dating game. It says Gardo Academy. It says it right there, Normal Boots Club. Yes. I looked up at him and suddenly realized he was talking to me.
Hana.
I met you on the train. Fucking goddamn it. You're nothing like you are in real life. I can assure that, because what you are in real life is this porn-addicted addict who asks for smut on Tumblr. Really well, I found my roommate. She'd be helping me out a lot. I gestured to Mai, who was so distracted. In fact, looking around, everyone was. People stopped eating and turned to stare at Jared and me, my shoulder bunched around my neck. Well, if you ever need any help, I'll be around. 3rd year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year, of course. They can't compare to me. But I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. Can I press? Okay, good. I gotta press enter. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winks. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Bitch, you married! Well, I'll see you around. I watched as a torrent of thought raging through my head as I took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket. That's Jared! She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
He's so cute.
He's the most beautiful guy in the school!
Oh, Jared.
I can't believe he just looked at me. I looked at Mai. Her cheeks were glowing indecent pink. Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't all guys supposed to be wearing blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. They're... Oh, fuck. I forget. You know Jared? Oh, yeah, Mimi has to... Mimi turned around back and looking at me with sudden interest. Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, and not really. We're not friends or anything. But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everyone seemed to be listening in. They seemed too surprised that he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt? No, don't fucking lie. Oh. She looked at me up and down, sniffed, and turned away. Mai leaned towards me. Don't mind Mimi. She was just trying to get in with you. Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked about those guys in their jackets, right? Those are Normal Boots Club jackets. They're... What? What's Normal Boots Club? They all fucking shines to them, and fucking Jared over here. It's a club. We're at school here. It's like totally exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They got together and played video games. Or something. That one right there is John, also known as JonTron. His bird's name is Jux. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is PBG. He and John founded the Normal Books Club together. PBG is like one of the best soccer players on our team. That there's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. He has this biggest itty bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. I can't get over my diarrhea. I'm way too be sick to be streaming today, but I can't not play this game. It just came out today. Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's a model. And then there's Flashbacks, but everybody just calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. Those guys over there, Paul, Nick, and Josh, they write a column in the newspaper calls Continue. Of course. Paul, the one standing up, is Student Council President. And that guy in the end there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone. If you don't know, Shane is the guy who hosts Did You Know Gaming. Like, than ever. She exhaled the dreamy cider into her mashed potatoes. So, how would someone, you know, join the Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you. What does that even mean? You have to be present when the boots are to be in the club, and they're like super selective. What are the boots? The club has this boot statue. It's like on one of their patches, but it's gold plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do this weird I can't fucking spot ritual with it. Ritual? I hear they fill a room with candles and wear these like totally creepy robes during initiation. This 2-year-old said that she saw it and they were like chanting around the boots and it sounded like they were talking backwards. But I don't believe her. Even if it is true, I don't care if they're like a cult because they're all like really hot. Do they have a lot of friends? Yeah, like tons of friends. I say they're most popular kids in school. I mean, everyone in school totally looks up to them. I bet they can get any girl in too. Or boy, for that matter. Hey, are you gonna eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the plastic tray across the table to her. The remainder of lunch, I listened to Mai talk about Jared through mouthfuls of half-dissolved frosting. Back at the dorm, I sorted through piles of textbooks that the school had left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune equal parts music to static. Mai frequently scribbled in a notebook on her desk, hunched over with striking poor posture.
Hey.
I say that as I actually have poor posture. Hey, Mai. She didn't bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbook. A demure man in a powder wig frowned at me from the cover. Yeah, this one, I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. Mai shrugged and set the textbook back in her pile. They have a bunch at the library. You can check one out. Where's the library? Mai referred through her notebook and wrote something down. She tore a page out and handed me a cruelly drawn map. Oh, okay, I'll be back in a bit. It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. That totally sounds like me. By the time I realized I was holding up the map upside down. What? How could you be so dull? The sun was setting. The library was much larger than I expected. The walls were lined to the floor and ceiling with books of all sizes on rough wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. I recognized the green and gray jacket bent behind the counter. The Normal Boots. Oh, Senpai, please. I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
You look out Satch, too. Can I help you? I don't know. I don't watch much Satch, so I couldn't do his voice. Too late. Oh yeah, the school forgot to give me one of my textbooks. I was told I could get it here. Which one is it? History 309 textbook. He stepped from behind the counter and motioned me to follow. We dodged the aisles in the comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough and I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? John? No, not John. Satch. Huh? Oh, you work here? Of course you worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing on his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the library's assistant. It's my second year and I love it. I get to help people find books that speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid at Christmas. What am I playing? At least this isn't How to Fool Boyfriend again. Your book's right down there. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out the book with the powder wig man I saw earlier. Thanks! He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the normal books, but I couldn't come up with anything. No. No, buddy, we all fuck! It's time I take my tea black. I'm a terrible person. You're welcome. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away and we were talking. It was just being near him that felt wrapped in a soft blanket. I'm really sick today. I couldn't even do my work today. I resisted the urge to snuggle up with him. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying students. As we passed one shifted. Ugh. Something white flew past my face. Ew, man, don't do that in the library. A thick piece of triangular paper lay at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. It was just a hair slower would have hit me in the face. The students snickered. I recognized the boy that made fun of my hair this morning among them. My heart dropped as I scanned my memory that might have done something to offend them, but came up with nothing. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back trying to think of some way to defend myself. Why did you do that? What do you mean? We're just messing around. Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? I fluttered. There was nothing I could say. I was outnumbered, and they would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was. No, I'm sorry. One of the boys held his hand out for the paper. I inched closer to give it to him, angry at myself for being so compliment. I wish I were a gentle warmth closer over my hand, and he took the paper from me. Sasha examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table, and the boys looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her. That would have been awful. My hand began to sweat as they panicked through me, afraid of the response, but... Jeez, we're sorry. We'll be careful next time. Yeah, it was an accident. They apologized? Thanks, I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued down the aisles, and I followed closely behind as my legs weak. They started to shake as I thought of him completely naked. I'm like, wow, man. It's going to get filthy tonight in my room. Don't tell me to stop because of him, simply because I was with him. I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard that I knew my voice would shake. I reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say anything to thank him. He tilted his head off to the side. What books do you like to read? Oh, fiction? He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind me saying so. He's looking at me with the seductive eyes. Sachin, I don't want your shit! He reached under the counter and pulled a thick green book and passed it to me. A man a man in black stood hugging a woman in royal robes. This is long, but it's one of my favorite. The Princess Betrothed. I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you ever worry, just read this. I'll transfer you 100 miles away it'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. Tears struck my eyes, so I ducked my head. Thank you, Satch, for more than just the books. You're welcome. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think I got your name. I'm a transfer student.
Hana.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Hannah. Let me know if you like the book. I will. Dude, I like more things about vampires and magic and werewolves. You know, good shit. That could have got better. Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt uneasy. Refreshing. Like being doused in the mist of waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? Like I said, it's gonna get dirty in this bedroom tonight. My cheeks thawed as I left the library. Two surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but Mai was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into pages of her notebooks. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh as the lead of her pencil winced against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something wrong, Mai? Look at those glorious tits. She let another dreary sigh. I hope Jared notices me this year. Does Jared know that you like him? Maya whirled around in frightened shock.
What?
I don't like Jared! Oh. I closed my book and set it aside, decided to play along. Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No, I mean, I have before. Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this has, like, never crossed her mind before. I'm not a sweater! Fuck that shit. I don't like romanticized. I like actual werewolf bloodbath and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Satisfied, I picked up my book back up. Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hannah?
What?
No, I just masturbate furiously to the posters on my wall while I sleep. Really? Never? Never. I bet you... The fucking using yen. 10,000 yen. That you told me to cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. You're crazy! I buried my face back into the book, burying my for any further discussion. Fall in love by the end of the year? Me? If I were a betting kind of girl, I'd take the bet. I'd do it. Hey boys, you want some fuck? I woke the next morning with felt like a lizard in my throat. Mai was already walked shuffling through her school bags with a... Shut the fuck up, Mai. With a grin. First day of school. Hannah, you're like finally awake! Her voice sliced through the air like a knife and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school! Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's gonna happen! What do you mean? Is something special happening today? Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you. I love this. I love doing this voice. She winked. Someone like me.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean. She smiled and started mess. Oh, she means that because I'm a main character. I have wallpapers on her desk. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet. Palms were sweaty, mean spaghetti, as I hold the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were at home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook up the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. Oh! What is it? You look so cute! Oh, fucking kawaii as shit!
Really?
Really? My heat crept up my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely! Your hair matches your uniform so well. Oops, I bumped the mic. You look like a flower blooming straight on the ground! Thank you. Water stung back in my eyes and I started to pack my bag. Why was I getting so worked up at something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought. Is something wrong? No, it's nothing. I'm just happy. How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath and studied my nerves. What an oddly menacing laugh. Thud. She pulled out her massive cock! Oh shit, this thing is about to get fucking woo! All the air left my lungs is something horse like runs out against my back. You'll do this fine! Don't worry, this is gonna be awesome! I slowly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
What? Her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to sit in my bag when I spotted the book Sash gave me lying on the nightstand. Princess of the Betrothed. He said if I ever need to be transported somewhere far away, it could take with me. It was cool, so it was good so far, but maybe it would be smart to bring it along, just in case I had no one to talk to in between class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? Oh, take it. You're right. I put my overfull bag, biting my lip. Fucking take it like a bitch! Never hurt to be prepared, right? You ready? Yeah, let's go. Stick with me and you'll be fine, girl. I opened the door and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into the steady flow of chittering girls and fruit-flavored perfume. Oh my, I did not know we lived on the same floor. No way, really? That's like so awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened to you between and the group of girls shifted as we head downstairs. Suddenly I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
Sure.
Oh wow, what a jerk he turned out to be. Mai's explanations faded through the buzz of voices in the air. Oh no, what would I do if we got separated? Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for Mai, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed the same as Gary, a uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart. Should have some water. Being so short didn't really help the situation. I'm tall as fuck. As we turned the last corner down the Starwell, I saw a flash of red hair and little waves in front of me. Mai? I reached up between the two girls and tapped her on the shoulder. Who are you? Girls flashed almost a jolt of electricity through them. I'm sorry, I thought you were somebody else. She said nothing and turned away before I knew it. I stood outside the Primrose house, watching the flow of girls disperse around the campus. Mai was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Oh man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But I didn't even know where the building was. Oh damn, you fucked up. I reached in my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall? Which one was Poppy Hall again? Were the classrooms on the other side of the campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore my rising panic at the thought of arriving late. Jesus, this girl is like me. As third years, no one knew me. All the people were staring. That's right! God! Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Hey, you okay? You look a little lost. Sorry, I had to do that. That'll be the only time I'm doing that. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy. When I froze, a Normal Boots jockey. He was part of the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. This is Normal Boots member. I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be JonTron. Yes. I'm new and I don't know where the Poppy Hall is. You're a freshman? No problem. No, I have to... Let me... get my inner JonTron. You're a freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall. I'll walk you there.
Really?
That's really bad. Really? That'd be wonderful. Thank you. I can't do these voices. I can't do the deep voices because I'm a chick. Is this really happening? He began walking towards a large brick building with enthusiastic manner, pumping his arm up and down, like he was some sort of show tune. I fell into a step behind him. I didn't notice where Mai pointed out to me yesterday, but JonTron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. He was basically a human puppy. That is so true. I glanced up on him in the corner of my eye. A bird. A bird on his shoulder. Birds always made me uncomfortable. Something about the ease with this is poke somebody's eyes out. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop? Oh no, nothing's wrong. Followed my gaze to the bird on the shoulder. Now apparently, I'm gonna tell you this straight up because I looked at the Kickstarter because this was a Kickstarter game. And they had stretch goals, and one of them was full voice acting, but they didn't reach that. But the goal that they did reach is the Jacques fruits, meaning you can date the fucking bird. You can date Jacques. He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder.
Hey.
Oh, this is Jacques. Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you. It spoke. Jacques is gonna laser my ass. Matey. Yeah. He put his hand to his shoulder and Jacques up onto his palm. Jacques is a robot bird, see? Hello. Jacques' eyes gleamed with dangerous red as he spoke, but nothing else suggested he was a normal bird. In fact, if I didn't know better, I would have said the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing! Jacques switched his head to the other side, examined me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at? I should have done that in the robot voice. What? Nothing, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time. I was alone, starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world. Loveless, afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him to drama club and he's taken a little well to it. I see how this is. Shut me out like I have nothing to add to the conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, just facing away from us as he muffled. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John. Hannah, nice to meet you.
Hannah.
Hannah? What a cute name. What? Well, thank you. How long have you had Jacques? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? I'm not listening. Yeah, well, I love him to death, and I don't know what I'd do without him. It seemed like life would be a lot easier without him, but who was I to say? We arrived at the brick building, a white sign surrounded by poppies declared to be, unsurprisingly, the Poppy Hall. Which room are you in? Room 206.
Really?
Seriously? Yeah. That's my homeroom! We're in the same class! Oh boy! Claps me on the shoulder. Wonderful, I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Right. Fuck you, Mom, you gave me this. Poppy Hall was lined with fluorescent lights and Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students smiling around the hallways indicated we were a bit late. I ran up the stairs and made it to the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught through my like my teacher hadn't come yet. Instead, students clumped in tight pods were milled around the classroom, catching up on vacation news.
John.
Thank you so much for showing me to class, John.
See you later.
No problem. I'll see you around. I waved in despair, wriggling mass of students. I glanced around the room, looking for an empty seat.
Hannah.
Hannah! Mai peeled herself out from between a cuddling couple. What's that? JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron? Yeah. Mai's eyes widened as I couldn't help feeling a little smug. I realized oh fuck, I thought it was stuck in this way. I realized I didn't know the way to class after you and I got separated, and he offered to walk me. JonTron walked you to class? Oh my god, you have to tell me everything! She grabbed me by the wrist and pulled me to an empty desk in the back of the corner of the room, right next to the window. I saved you a seat! She slid and took my backpack, hooking it on the side of my desk. It was a bit worrying. The books inside were too heavy for the bag to handle, but so far it held up well. Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me what happened! What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have, like, peach fuzz? Is it rough? Wait, what? These are very important questions I'm asking. You need to answer them. Was his hair, like, super silky, or did it have, like, roughness of a dog's coat? Before I could answer, the door to the front room slid open and a tall woman strolled in. Class went quiet and immediately slid to their seats. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class?
Okay, that's very inappropriate what you're wearing. Not even the chick, not even Mai has fucking boobs like that showing. Good morning, class. The teacher's malicious voice swam through the room, calming, buzzing the hive students back from the break. My shoulders relaxed as fear ebbed away. I am your teacher. I'm not pronouncing that. You may call me Miss Shugawa. I'm just gonna call her Miss Shiz because I'm not Japanese. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe that calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake she would take lightly. Some of you might have noticed that we have a new student in this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class and some people glanced at me. Nope, there was the fear again. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? I nodded and I stood, slowly walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class and take a deep breath. Introduced myself and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. Oh god! The senpais that be staring at me, including Jack! There was John sitting with two other boys wearing Normal Boots Club jackets. One of the boys, tallest one, was staring at me, bears of frowns on his face. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PPG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Moods Club? Suddenly all the strength left my knees. Damn, that spaghetti be pouring everywhere. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. If he didn't like me, what did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? I swallowed. The faces of class began to conceal, forming one giant blob. You moved from Amaterasu yet? I nodded and I swallowed again. Then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smile and give me thumbs up. Aw, that's alright. What would Mai do in this situation?
Yes.
Yes!
Just moved here. My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from Amaterasu Public High School.
Amaterasu, okay.
I'm really excited to be here. I hope you'll all take good care of me from now on.
Her voice is pretty cute. I bowed my head to the class and they clapped politely. When I looked up, PPG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that? Thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, having a small sigh. The hardest part of my day was over. Miss Shiz began talking about the standard procedure for the semester, the rules for the classes, when homework was due, and that sort of thing. It was all very similar to my old school, and I spaced out in spite of myself. A brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at it, and his head snapped back to the blackboard. Bitch be staring at me. Miss Shiz, no! Class continued on like until it finally bang rang for lunch. Mai stretched her arms over her head and yawned. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Were you looking forward to this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but I already did. You met Jontron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing left to look forward to. She sighed. And I was hoping to see Jared before class, too. She slouched over and fell in front of my desk. It seemed like this would be happening a lot. Is Jared really that hot? My sass, oh fuck, she angry. Her eyes flashing. What did you say? If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen. What? Anyways, let's head to lunch. I'm like super hungry. Oh. I looked at my backpack and held it up through that class, but I was worried if I didn't take some of my stuff out now, I might do some permanent damage to it. Especially Sash book in there. I couldn't exactly afford a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first.
Oh, no.
But we don't go now. They're run out of sauce. That's okay. I'll just go ahead. Come find me, okay? Alright. If I was so lucky to have somebody as her as my roommate. Oh, that wasn't a question. I'm so sorry. As quick as I could, I went to my locker and shoved the book aside. A good book as it was, I was infinitely happier that I had Maya around so I didn't have to read it. Without her, who knows what I would do with myself. Especially PBG staring at me like that. Maybe I could ask her what was up with him when I met her in the cafeteria. I'm really sick. It might just be the way he was. I headed for class. The cafeteria, sorry. I carried my melon bread through the minefield of people searching for the now familiar sight of Mai's hair. Where is she? I couldn't see her anywhere, and there were almost no empty seats. All around me were circles. Students circled around each other, laughing, joking, sharing bites of food, and spinning the coast for sodas. Suddenly, I found a very obvious and sorry. I felt very, very alone. Whatever. Isn't there anywhere I can sit? Just that I spotted a table at the front of the room. That's brutal, Moose. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing his spaghetti, vigor of Roman gentle. He was having a hard time with it. I could tell by the piercings. I moved closer to him, working up the courage to ask to sit with him. Well, no wonder he was eating spaghetti with a spoon. Wait a second. This guy was in my class, wasn't he? I saw him this morning in front of the room. And he was wearing a jacket just like the normal boots, but different. A golden gray jacket with an 8-bit block on the front. He was a member of another club, or maybe he was friends with them?
Hey!
Hey, what?
Hana!
Hana! Oh, my. Mai appeared between me and the boy, who glanced up at us before returning to his spaghetti. Thank goodness I found you! I saved you a table for you in the back. Oh. I looked at the boy and then went back to Mai. Come on! She grabbed me by the shoulder and rather forcefully pushed me into the back of the room. Hey, what's wrong? Oops, wrong person.
Wow.
You are so lucky I got here when you did. That kid is Brutal Moose. His real name is Ian. He's from the Hidden Block Club. The Hidden Block Club? Yeah, the rival club of normal boots. He's like really weird. I mean, she looked around her to make sure no one was listening, but we were completely alone in our little corner of the cafeteria. He speaks in Comic Sans. What? Yeah, it'd be better to stay away from him. Especially since you've already got to know some of the normal boots guys. What are you talking about? I only just met John today. Yeah, right. I saw the way PBG was staring at you. He totally likes you.
Really?
Really? Is that what you thought it was? Either Mai was blind or she had a serious case of wishful thinking. Oh, totally. It was so cute. It was like my favorite manga. You guys meet in high school, fall in love, and go off fight aliens together. What kind of fucking manga are you reading? I don't think that's gonna happen. Have some faith in yourself. That's totally what's happening. So now that you're good with PBG, can you introduce me to Jared? Oh, is that what she was getting at? Yeah, it's bad time. Bad time, brutal moose. A hot flash of doubt seized me. Was it possible that Mai only liked me because she thought I knew the normal boots guys? That couldn't be the case, though. She was so nice. Still looking at her shiny, eager face, I couldn't talk myself out of the idea. I actually thought PBG didn't like me.
What?
What? Why would you think that?
Well...
He was glaring at me. Man, you just don't understand. It's a love triangle. A love triangle. Wait, a triangle now? I can see it. Stars practically erupted from her eyes. PBG, I can't. But Hana, I love you. But my maidenhood. What are you going on with this? I slammed my fork onto the table and Mai looked pleased with herself. Okay, I'm just kidding, but you're really cute when you blush and you almost match your hair. That's not fair at all. I beg to differ. Still. I searched my mind, eager to change the subject. That was an impressive scenario. What? No, it wasn't. I just made it up on the spot. Mai laughed at me nervously. So the girl who was talking to me over me when we got separated? Mai told the story of her past friendship with this girl. They were like eternal arch nemesis. Apparently, they had some sort of bad blood. I nodded, choosing to take the time to relax. Before I knew it, we were finished eating. I got up and tossed our trays together. As I headed towards the door, though, Mai hesitated. Hey, I forgot something in the back of the dorm. Oh, need help? No, I'm totally okay. I'm just gonna go get it. I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class. I waved at Mai. She sprinted off in the direction of the doors. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. A large group of 7 or 8 people were laying out in the sun, playing catch, eating lunch on the lawn. It looked fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school would be better than my last. Without students inside of it, Poppy Hall looked a bit like an abandoned hospital. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. With a sigh, I opened up my locker and pulled out the book Sash gave me. It was a good thing I bought it after all. Brought it. I stepped into the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window. A boy sat on the windowsill as he jerked up when I came in. Silhouetted by the afternoon sun, I couldn't quite tell who he was. Hello, I'm sorry, did I bother you? The boy stood and shook his head and crossed to the desk on the opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another Normal Boots jacket? This guy. He was Shane from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did it keep happening to me? Shane, because you're the main character. She's going back to masturbate to Jared. Shane sat down his desk, fidgeted with his hands a little, and turned back to look at me. You're the new girl? I nodded. My name is Hana. No, wait, wrong person. My name is Hana. It's nice to meet you. He nodded. They actually got Shane. Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside me. This was my first chance to get into the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it! I walked to my desk, sat down, and setting the book on top of it. Shane looked at me, unsmiling. You're part of the Normal Boots Club. Yes, I am. Why? He spoke if I was a challenge, almost glaring at me. I just saw your jacket, so I trailed off. The jackets are really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Silence again. He seemed skeptical, as he almost expected me to crawl on my skin and reveal myself to be a large, hideous reptile. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance would like this to come? I can't speak. But Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed downright suspicious. Surely he wasn't on to me already. Maybe it was better not to risk it. I'm just trying to make friends. So you play games then? Shane looked over at me. I've always been interested in video games, but I didn't get to play them as much growing up. They're really expensive and my dad couldn't afford them, but I used to go over to my friend's house to play there. Shane didn't respond. Now what? I was out of stuff to say. What did you play?
What?
What? Oh, Mario Kart? When in battle mode on a triple deck and he would drive by around himself on the top level, and I tried to booby trap the lowest level. There's always a good spot next to the ramp. I'd wait there until my mom came racing down the ramp to find me, and then I smashed her with a red shell. Shane's angry stare faded. He was smiling. He made the whole room seem 10 times shades brighter. Or maybe I was more relaxed. Your mom must have been mad. She was, but she always let me do it. Probably on purpose. Did your mom... A door slid open and Mimi and her friends, couple chatting girls, entered the classroom. They stopped and stared at me from shade. It was clear they thought they were interrupting something, even though we were sitting on opposite ends of the room. Sorry. No, it's fine. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy that they caught me talking to the Shane of the normal boots. The girls went to their desks and sat down. Hey, what were you... Shane was staring at me with an odd, hurt look on his face. I immediately felt like I was caught doing something I wasn't supposed to. Did he know I was trying to do? But I mean, I wasn't like I didn't want to talk to him. He was an interesting guy. It's not like I only talked to him because he was in the normal boots. He turned and pulled out a notebook and some pens and scribbled away, thoroughly ignoring me. The air was stuffy. I checked the color of my shirt, sweating. The girls kept looking over me and their shoulders, expecting something. I smiled hesitantly at them. I smiled back. The conversation amongst themselves. The atmosphere was broken. I heaved a sigh of relief. What was up with these normal boots guys? John was really nice when I spoke with him, but PPG and Shane seemed to be hating me. They were anything but normal. I waited for Mai to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened. But when the bell rang, Miss Shiz started teaching. Mai still hadn't come. Class came and went, and the bell rang, and I was alone. PPG stared at me for the entirety of the class period, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. How was his face wasn't stuck in a perma frown? I would never know. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me as they left the classroom, and the other students paired up around me. Hey Mimi, would you like to engage in casual discourse this evening? Yeah, of course. But why are you talking like that? I stuffed my book into the backpack and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked my door to my dorm room. As soon as the door opened, I heard...
Hannah! What?
What? My and I in a heap on the floor. I'm so glad you're back! She wrapped her arms around my head and nuzzled me. Look at the fuck! What are you doing? Come, look! She got off of me and helped me to my feet. Without my face filling my vision, I saw something had changed. Oh my goodness. The dorm looked nothing like what it had before. The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had a light pink curtain that had a warm haze around the room. A brand new white carpet on the floor and pillows high in the mountain on the top bunk of the bed. Even our chairs have been replaced with two cushy leather ones. What happened here? Yeah, sorry to tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would be coming yesterday, but it was delayed by a day. I wanted to set it up and be a big surprise. I'm still not done yet, though. She gestured to some small potted plants arranged in neat rows on her desk. What the hell?
Yeah.
Do I ever? It's pretty cool being in a dorm room with a person like setting it up. But with me and my dorm buddy, we just kind of had separate like we were really heart split in the room. Like the only thing that was really together on our room was a Skyrim poster, but she really loved Skyrim, so it didn't matter. We finished setting the rooms up, switching a few objects here and there, in order to better facilitate our feng shui, which Mai told me was extremely important. She especially wanted to make sure one of our rooms was filled with red and pinks, and a couple of items, though, for what purpose, I wasn't sure. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, and then heaved a great big yawns. It's not even the end of the day yet, I'm so tired. Me too. Wait! She shot up suddenly with a jolt. We should get some ice cream!
Really?
Ice cream, really?
Yeah.
Yeah! Let's celebrate being roomies! The ice cream here on campus is generally good, I promise.
I don't know.
I'm paying! Well, if that's the case, you made me an offer I can't refuse. Sweet, let's go! School shop of the side building of the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles and giant bottles of soda. Student wandered the aisles aimlessly. Clearly, there's more time to spend here than money. Mai paid the cashier and both grabbed her ice cream cones. Mine was the one covered in sprinkles. Wow, this is delicious!
Yeah.
It's an egg! We're lucky to have such a good food on campus! This place would be awful if we didn't. I nodded and I was about to respond when I noticed commotion outside. Ooh, let's see what's going on! Mai grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. There were 3 boys wearing normal boots jackets shouting at each other, each of the faces turning purple. This again? What are you talking about?
Mamma mia!
What the fuck is going on? Clearly I'm the one who possesses the proper masculine form. Yeah, right, I'm taller than you, more attractive to boot. Come on, guys. Can you not see these muscles? Nick pulled up the sleeve and flexed his arm. These guys always go on about weird stuff like this. They're very energetic. Oh yeah? Josh got into a downward-facing dog yoga pose and grinned. Look at this butt! Look at this! What? I don't even understand why they just don't ask Jared. Oh yeah? Kneeled to the ground and took off a sprint, heading straight for us.
Yeah!
Check this out! He sprang into the air at a graceful ballerina leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me? When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed from the top of my blouse. Hannah, are you okay? I sat up, chunks of ice cream fell to my blouse onto my skirt. Fucking asshole! You ran into someone, you idiot! The uniform! It's red! A few seconds, silent snickers rippled around me like I was whining about it. Like whining of cicadas. My throat closed up and water stung my eyes. No, not this again. Aww. Still prepared to walk away with dignity when the entirety of normal boots suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Oh my god, I feel so bad for her! Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey.
That was the first time PBG's talking. Hannah, are you alright? PBG's wife actually worked on this game. If you didn't know that. I'm going home!
Hannah.
Hey, Hannah. I took out my will not to run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas to climb to bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I gonna do? This ends up being like the last. Oh my god, this feels so hard. Mr. Bunny stared with these big, lifeless eyes. I squished into my chest, losing myself in the soft fur. The door opened with a soft click. Hannah, you're gonna be okay. I rolled over in the bed, facing the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I still don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling the dread of the hours to come. After a nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blankets, as my alarm went off, and it was the second day of school, and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear their hair straightener clap and get shut every few seconds from across the room. Alright, I need some water. My throat's killing me, and I ate all my popsicles. I'll be right back. I just need some water. No more popsicles, I ate them all. I felt bad letting the alarm go off for so long. I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hannah, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake. I didn't have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed against the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room.
Morning.
Hi for me, Mai. Sorry. I was breathless. I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you still worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself. She must have seen my face and brought her arm around my shoulder and pulled me closer to her. For real though, we're gonna go to class and no one's even gonna mention you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. You could have put it better. I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was all Paul's, right? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory, like I just did now. He could have learned it from a lot like a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? You can't let that happen, Hannah. Her smile was wide enough to bridge the gap between the continents. The tears would prickle through my back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing that inside slathered with dried up ice cream. I only have 2 uniforms, but cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain on the uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on my, waiting patiently for me. Impatiently. Ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah!
Good! Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks in there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to standing out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out playing on the field soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer to get a better look. Hana! Sound of my name, I leapt to my attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came to learn, not to contemplate the scenery. Yes, Miss Shiz. I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lectures as nothing happened. A few desks in front of me, a guy was sitting next to Brutal Moose, and turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. I think that's Youngtown. I think that's supposed to be Youngtown. I made a face unsure what exactly he expected me to do. Then Ian turned around and socked him in the head. The other guys mumbled something and probably apologizing. Ian slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head before there wasn't time for this, and I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone, it's almost time for you to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, may you be aware, the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. Just feared cheers and everyone started to pack up. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There was no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful, believe me, I know. But if you try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all. See you tomorrow. Miss Shiz flashed with a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher. That lecture was so boring. Mai walked beside. Okay, I love doing Mai. Trading her hands, we were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for me today too.
Oh, no.
Help me, I'm gonna die of boredom. We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
What?
We already have work to do? How did you not hear that? Mai sighed dramatically and leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck, and I reached to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. Oh god, Hannah, Paul's walking over and he's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over? Why do you think he's gonna kick you again? The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me and I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer.
Hey.
I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure that you weren't hurt or anything. He ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made him feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped in my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head off to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the same uniform from next year. I like the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. A deep, sickening feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought Normal Boots guys were different. He was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? Not for the first time. I thought of dyeing it a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for a response. Mai gave me a quick nod, as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping to at least somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess. Thank you, but I was just gonna scrub it in the sink. Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so surprisingly good at hand washing things. That thing's gonna need more than just hot water and soap, trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and I'll bring you a uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me the time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun around quickly and I flinched. Are you and, Mai right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria's pretty full right now. You can sit with us if you want, just for today. Yes! We go for it, right, Hannah? Lunch with the Normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could become friends with them. And no one would bother me again about my hair or the ice cream incident. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Alright,
follow me, ladies. That grammar. It's my problem for the grammar. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the Normal Boots Club sat with the table all to itself. Hey, you found her! You're Hannah, right? I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forcing herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hannah, we saw you were upset and all worried. How are you feeling better? I should do PPG's voice, if I can. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe because I was about to 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from the other guys. As I tried violently to open my mouth, whispers spread around the lunchroom. Look at those girls over there! Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me! Yes! Main characters get on the left. Suddenly made my thoughts turn dark. Could it be by getting close to these guys I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting projection? I'm really sick today. My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me and even more worried than before. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better. I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around the guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud. Hannah, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault, right, Polly? Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I apologize the best I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PPG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else seems to be paying attention to me or any attention. Shade, however, was still shooting me a quick, suspicious glances. It's almost like he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
Hey, Gerard! This is the first time I talked to it. Oh yeah, there's like this big thing that because Hannah has pink hair that she's a main character. How do you like it How do you like it here so far, Hannah? Good, how about you? I mean, I like it here, thank you. Gerard smiled at me and turned away, and I picked at my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversation, and Maya was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared. I can feel his body heat. Oh dear.
Hey.
You doing okay, Hana? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know it can be overwhelming. You're fine, right? Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending that book, by the way. It's been really good. Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would. It's really funny, but the narrator is annoying. Yeah, he can be a bit rude. He pushed up his glasses and grinned at me.
Okay. Right.
You're pretty quiet, so I knew I knew there was more to you. I wouldn't. Sorry, I could be a bit of a wallflower. No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the flower festival. He turned to the group addressing them all as on cue. They'd suddenly pay him attention. Who you all taking this year? Right, the flower festival. Miss Shiz mentioned it before. What is the flower festival? No one explained it to me yet.
Well,
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have one of those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school, but they're basically just 40 kids grouped in one room sharing snacks they brought from home. We had something kind of like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Oh, why not? They're so much fun. I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, and when I went to, people pretended I didn't exist. But mine was waiting for an answer, and everyone was looking at me. I'm just not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well, maybe you like this one more. The flower festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Hagabanada. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some sort of myth about flowers that's somewhat important. Supposedly, the founder of Higamawa was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed and drained herself of all her water before he could drink. The man found a Higamawa to watch over the meadow, which he met in the flower. There's fucking sparkle animations all over Jared. In some versions of the myth, the man of the flower spirit fell in love. It's truly a romantic festival. One may hope to find someone which they make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the ones they love. Jared winked and May swooned. So during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games or eat food or go flower viewing. Then at night, there's a special meadow by the temple where you can go watch the flowers. There's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in a booth to raise money for the school, too. So there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami. Origami? I'm good at origami. Really? Shane is too. Maybe you guys should work together. Shane gave me that tight-lipped smile, and somehow I didn't think that would be happening.
Hey.
Hey, speaking of you, I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, but naturally there were so many girls with broken hearts, even I couldn't mend them all. You still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken back, and then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear and Shane grimaced. How great it would be if somebody asked me. Maybe it's one of those normal boot guys did. Shut up. Shut up, Basil. No, I doubted that would ever happen. They were only letting me sit here because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Besides me, my chef nervously, her eyes kept flickering from Jerry to her french fries. She looked at like a child who stole several cookies. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow. A god waiting for the names to fall into his lap. I don't think I'm going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah, same. Man, you guys are boring. You are much better, man. I'm on another level compared to you guys. I already got my choice picked out. There's a quiet clattering next to me. I dropped her fork. Yeah, I'm sure you have. And it'll probably be a new choice tomorrow. Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time for me to make so many different girls come true. I must find the one who's most of need. So it's not even about which one you like, huh? Nope. And you make fun of me. Just then the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. As everyone got up to toss their trays, I stood overwhelmed with a sudden burst of feelings and shouted, "Thank you for letting me and Mai sit with you today. I really appreciate it." Yeah, thanks. Hannah was having such a terrible day, and you guys cheered her right up. So see you guys again tomorrow. Same time. My tilted her head, eyes twinkling. Hi, Paul said we could only sit with them today. That's cool. Paul waved a hand in dismissal, almost dropping a tray with the other. The cafeteria is really crowded and we have an extra room at our table. People are too afraid to sit with us or something. Well, we did kick a girl yesterday. The three of them shrugged at the same time and left the room, moving in unison like a team of synchronized swimmers. Jared jumped his train and jogged up to catch up with them. As soon as they were out of earshot, Mai took my hands and jumped up and down. You did it, Hannah! We got to sit at the popular table! I've been trying to do this for 2 years, and you did it in 2 days! She dropped her hands and made a jokingly, I think, angry face. Main characters have all the fun. So you'll be in pairs, painting a diorama or a papier-mâché lamp. Anything postmodern, then write up a paper on the design. Or don't, that works too. But remember, this project would count for 10% of your final grade. So work hard, sound good? The only response was bitter murmuring. Miss Shiz often ended with sounds good, but she never cared about the answer. Alright, in the last few minutes of class, pick your partners and discuss your project plan. We'll continue next time. In a matter of seconds, almost all the desks in the classroom connected. I looked at mine, but a girl, Mimi Shantos, already claimed her, and Mai frowned at me as to apologize. I scanned the classroom for a few other people I met, finding them already paired. I was going to be the only one without a partner. Suddenly, the edge of the desk collided with mine.
Hey.
Oh, shit, son! I guess we'll be working together. PPG sat in front of me with a cheeky grin. Didn't you sit on the other side of the room? How did he get his desk over here so quickly? I leaned over to look past him. They left a gaping hole and several collapsed students in his wake. Seeing my gaze, he turned around. Whoa, sorry. He waved sheepily. A boy glared at him. Well, for the better or worse, we're partners. I guess we are, sorry. So PPG does like me. I'll be his peanut butter Hannah. Why are you apologizing? Wait, no, that's not what I meant at all! You're super smart, I'm just sorry you're stuck with me. You're pretty smart too, though. Right? Not that I knew. I guess. But I hate schoolwork, so I don't care about it all. 10% of our grade depended on this project. Oh, not that I'm gonna make you do it at all. I may not like school, but I'm not gonna let somebody else fail just because I think it sucks. I haven't done something like that since I was a kid. The girl got so mad. I learned my lesson. He laughed, hitting his desk, crinkling his nose. I didn't see what was so funny, but from the way he was looking at me, it seemed like I should. He smiled. I smiled hesitantly. He stopped laughing and frowned at me the same way he did yesterday. Do you like apple cider? I actually love apple cider. I'm sorry? Or, pinball? What about margaritas? I guess I do. You guess you do? But he sputtered up, opening and closing up his mouth like he was trying to eat the air. I searched his face, wanting to help him out, but he's clearly struggling. PPG leaned forward and looking into my eyes like he was deciphering a code. Really forward, so close I could see little brown flecks in his eyes. Really forward. What? PPG moved away with this anxious look fading into a slight smile. Actually, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it? I was brainstorming a subject for our piece, but you didn't have any strong reactions to anything, so I guess we won't be doing those then. Like hell. The bell rang. Students started packing up. Oh no, we didn't get to pick a project. I'm so sorry, that's my fault. I was messing around, but don't worry, I'll come up with something. Just leave it to me. He thumped his chest and got out of his chair, striking a pose, giving me a wild, reassuring smile. He snuffled his back into his desk to the side of the room, so I packed my things away. I didn't understand what happened. Maybe it was better to forget about it. He didn't seem to want to explain. I left the classroom thinking to wait for Mai, but instead PPG trailed me into the hallway. He cleared his throat and turned his face into him. I tilted my head back. Uncomfortable degree. He was tall, but he was scratching his neck, avoiding eye contact. So I know you said you were like fine at lunch, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you were really freaked out yesterday, so. He crept away on my face. No, I'm alright. As long as you're fine. If you need help with anything, you rely on me, though. Especially since. An uncertain look across his face again. Well, never mind. Are you heading back to the dorms? Yeah. Nice, me too. We can go together! He pumped his fist in the air and I glanced into the classroom. Mai was still talking to Mimi, looking like she was about to rip the girl's head off. She wasn't going anywhere. Sure, let's go! As we turned to leave the hall, we were interrupted by someone wearing a yellow and gray jacket. The Rivals Club jacket. Space hamster! I know that face. My heart stopped. Standing before us was a tall man with cheekbones like no tomorrow. I didn't recognize him from our class, which means he was one of the other hidden block members. I didn't know whether I should scoff at him or ignore him, but before I could do anything, PBG held out his hand for a high five.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff! Jeff returned the gesture, and the two locked it into a conversation.
Hey, what's up?
PBG! You pumped about the soccer match?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this day all summer.
Right on.
I love their fucking expressions. Are you busy? I'm trying to get the team together right now for a last-minute practice. You in? I'm so in. I have nothing to do for the rest of the day, and all my cleats are still in your locker? Yep. Awesome. Let's go then. Jeff briefly looked at me and pointed. PBG turned around, surprised I was still waiting.
Hana.
Oh, Hana. Sorry, I gotta go. See you in class tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring my thinking cap. Put on an invisible hat and then give me a thumbs up. Oh, wait. Do you want to come to our game? It's the first one of the year. It would be pretty cool if you came to watch us. Mostly me, because I'm the star player. Wow, thanks. Of course.
Yeah.
That sounds like really fun. I'd love to come. Woo! Thanks, that really means a lot to me. Usually the first game doesn't conjure a big crowd. Can I bring Mai? She might have planned on going anyways, but she was already including me in things, so I wanted to do the same for her.
Yeah.
Totally! Bring as many people as you want. Fill up the stands. He left with Jeff and I headed back to the dorms. Mai usually walked with me and it felt weird to be alone, and suddenly I realized it would feel even weird to be in the dorm alone. Not knowing else to do, I headed for the library. Might as well get started on some homework. Good idea. I stayed in the library for much longer than I anticipated. Head low over some small sheets of project ideas and a thick book. Every time I thought about leaving, panic seized me. The truth was, I still didn't know my way around the academy, and Mai had been there to guide me, and I was more focused on the people around me than the places. As students trickled past, laughing and heading off with no doubt tons of fun, I fiddled with my pencil. Would I have to leave? I would have to leave eventually. Hesitantly, I closed my notebook and stood.
Hey, Hana.
Whoa, Jared, you're very enthusiastic. Let me push this water here. Hey, Hannah, how are you? I rolled around and Jared was walking past me with a thick book in one hand. Gerard. Hi, I'm good, thank you. I laughed weakly, found myself wrinkling my hands together. Yeah? He clearly didn't believe a word I was saying. I sighed. I'm a bit scared to leave. I know that sounds pathetic, but I don't really know my way around here, so... Yeah, you look a bit lost, like a lost otter. A lost otter? But hey, I haven't really got a chance to talk to you until now. I've been wanting to ask if you're setting in alright. I know that transfer students don't usually get introduced to the school like the same way that freshmen do. Are your classes okay? How's your homework load? Do you like the food? Are you getting along with Mai? I stuttered, unsure what question to ask first. Everything's fine. Mai's great. Yeah, she showed me around the campus recently. It was very nice of her. But she wasn't very, thorough. A grin slowly spread across Gerard's face as he was unwrapping a present. I can show you around if you like. I used to give tours to incoming students. And if you're new, you really should get the tour. Okay. Oh, my fucking... Gerard's lit up, and mere mention of a tour, I felt bad turning him down.
Right.
Great, we can start the boys' dorm. I need to put my books away. He laughed and headed out of the library. I felt steps alongside him. Has anybody told you we don't get many transfers? It's been implied. I always wonder what the new students think of everyone right away as we get here. I wish I could experience everything from here for the first time again. Was your old school anything like this? Not at all. It feels more like a college campus because of the dormitories. My old high school was just a big brick building. Gerard nodded. I thought he wanted to say more, but there we were in front of the boys' dorm. He pulled open the door for me, and inside he held open his hands.
Aw, yeah.
This is the Bluebell house. It's where the boys live. It's literally a carbon copy of the girls' dorm, except the walls are blue. Feel free to walk around, but probably don't go in any rooms. I'm gonna go drop this off. I'll be right back. to the stairwell, and then it took me 2 at a time. I got the feeling that he was rushing this not to make me wait longer than I had to. And I smiled. It made me feel cared for. There wasn't much to look or do while I was waiting, though I stepped in the side as not to block the door, and I stretched out my neck listening to the sounds of an action movie from a room nearby. Maybe I should wait outside? I headed for the dormitory door, but when I reached to pull it open... Cat Icarus! I don't know who the other guy is. I think it's Jimmy. Stared at them with shock, and they looked at me in the same way. Pink hair, that's unique. One on the right instantly called out my hair in a thick British accent. The other was probably the youngest student I met so far, standing up and down. You're the girl who sat at the normal food table today, aren't you? You could tell? My presence was already well known from just sitting at their table. I wasn't sure to be pleased or upset, but the men in front of me were busy talking amongst themselves. I never thought they entertained having a girl join. Do you think it's because of the puzzle incident? Shane would never be comfortable with somebody joining up just like that, though. They hardly know her. There must be some reason that she sat with them, though. If they're planning a secret weapon, then we should go back to them. Excuse me? I shouted at them in the middle of them, shocking even myself. I wasn't usually so loud or forward, but those two were bickering and gave me the impression that I didn't stop them to keep going on forever. I'm right here. You guys can just ask me something if you're so confused.
Hey.
Hey, you're right. So are you joining the Norblutes Club then, or...
What?
Joining? Joining Norblutes never even crossed my mind as a possibility. All I could think of was getting good with them, getting on their good side, and hopefully people wouldn't mess with me. Actually joining the club? Was that even possible? And weren't they like gamers or something? I had no experience with video games. There was no way that I'd be able to join. Seeing him as my crestfallen face, the young man backtracked. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. We're members of the Hidden Block Club, and Normal Boots is our rival tournaments. So we were just wondering.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful person.
Yes! They actually did that. I fucking love how they got Caddy to do that. I'm Caddy Chris. This is Jimmy Wetzel. You can call me Caddy for short, though everyone does. Everyone. Jimmy cast a knowing glance in Caddy's direction. Caddy grimps. Almost everyone. Beautiful, thank you. Don't mind him, he just tells everyone that. Because everyone is a beautiful person. Ouch.
Hey, guys.
Jared skidded across the room, panting as he ran. In fact, I doubt he even had. I just made no sense. I see you met Hannah, she's a new friend of ours. So be nice to her, alright?
What?
Why would we be anything but nice?
Yeah, whatever.
Last year's tournament would be begged to differ. That was one time, and that was only because Shane made pizza. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Later, guys.
Anyways, I don't want to keep you. I was giving Hannah a tour of the campus since she's new here. Well, it was nice meeting you. I hope we'll see you around even more.
Bye.
It was nice meeting you. Gerard waved the pair off as they climbed the staircase, and then they held the door open for me again. And we're off again. That was Asagao Art Center. There's a recording booth and lots of spare rooms for clubs to meet in. The theater's right next to it. It's where John holds the drama club and all its rehearsals. I think the student council elections are all there. And Gerard has a special events for at least once there a semester. Well, last year was a martial arts exhibit. And Jared did Kento against the other practitioners in the school. I'm too sick for this. Ugh. I will continue. Check his end and on.
See what I mean?
He's truly talented. Really, all my friends are. I'm really lucky to have people like that around me. Aw, Gerard.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Do you have a question? No, that's alright. Great. Over there you can see Hagwana peeking over the distance. There's a field separating us and people like to eat there. Gerard seemed a grateful and downcast person. He was really going out of his way to help me and be kind to me, and he didn't seem to realize what a big deal that was. I giggled. Something told me I should point it out, despite that I was truly thankful. Give me water. He took out me all places. My did once more, describing everything, several past events in excruciating detail. It was a little much for me for a friendly tour, but having all the names and locations of the buildings burned into my mind was a good thing. We ended the tour back in Poppy Hall after what seemed like hours of walking. Gerard, keen on finishing off the tour, was the best place on campus. Ta-da, here it is, the Normal Boots Club Room! pushed open the door and he pointed inside. It looked like a regular room filled with desks and some kind of toys. It's not much, but it's home to some of my happiest memories. He shut the door again and dusted his hands. There's a little closet people use to store things here too. He reached to turn the handle but paused and reacted his hand. Was that a shutter I saw? Just a little tip, knock before you open the door to any closet on campus.
Really?
Why? Oh, you know, ghosts, I guess. Yeah, sure. Megan is unwilling or chanting her inner John with all these X. Like, I sound like Count Bleck more than that. Bleck! There was a strange advice that delivered strangely. Gerard was uncomfortable. I wasn't sure to make of it. He knocked a few seconds later, opened the door. Someone was in that closet. I was not expecting someone in that closet. Why was someone in that closet?
Hey.
Hey? Gerard waved to that person and then closed the door, turning back to me. Who? Sorry, he scared you. What? Anyways, that's for the tour. How was it? What the fuck was that? He beat, but I hesitated, seeing his eye twitch slightly. The thought of then bringing back up. It was awesome. Thank you back. I learned a lot about the school and how you friends. It made me feel included. No problem at all. I like helping out. I wish I had somebody to show me around when I first got here. You have no idea how long it took me to find all the secret tunnels and make a complete map of the campus. Secret tunnels?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Oh, I gotta show you. Gerard glanced at the clock clanging on the wall and winced.
Oh.
Darn, I gotta get going. I have some homework to do, but if you ever need more help, I'm here to help you. Got a notebook and wrote something down. Then he ripped it out and gave it to me. Here. My phone number, my door number, address, my parents' phone number, my emails, Facebook, my blipper information. Don't hesitate to ask me anything.
See you later.
I'll see you later, Hannah. It was really good spending time with you. Just like that, he was gone. I put the paper in my bag, chuckling softly, then paused. I had to check. Were we inside of the supply closet the whole time? And I felt the urge to open the door after Gerard closed it. Now I was seeing who's in there. Darkness. The light was off this time, and I slid my hand across the wall looking for a switch, and I flipped it. There was no one in the closet. I froze, still as the paint construction paper that lined the walls. He wasn't in here. This was the only exit. I closed the door, blinked hard, and walked straight back to my dorm room. Just forget about it. Ignoring that last incident, Gerard truly went out of his way to show he was thinking about me. In fact, I got the impression that he was like this way for everyone. Maybe even everything. He was very thorough. Very thorough. He wanted me to help you. And he did And when he wanted to help you, he did everything in his power to do so. Maybe it hadn't mean much for him, but it meant a lot to me. I returned back to the dorm and crawled into bed with a big smile on my face, ready to take on the day. This time, I knew I wouldn't get lost. Oh my god. My arrival at Poppy Hall next morning immediately became clear something had changed. Posters drenched in nauseating-inducing neon colors were plastered on the lockers. Several students gathered to take a look. Oh my gosh. We walked over to one of the walls to get a better look. Is that Jared? When Mai didn't respond, I turned to look at her. The expression on her face told me her mind wandered somewhere that made a call girl blush. Mai, you're drooling. It seemed to jolt her out of her fantasy. She lifted a sleeve to wipe away the dribble on her chin. I am not. What are these posters for? Well, last year Jared put on a fashion show and he looks like he's doing it again this year. I didn't know Jared was into fashion. Mai shrugged. He's not. I waited for some sort of type of clarification.
He's so cute.
One time in biology, I saw him take off his sweater and his shirt kind of got stuck in it, pulled off, and I swear he had like 20 abs. I waited in vain.
Good morning.
Oh no. I called it. Mai and I whipped around. I stood in Jared and all his glad. Why is it always porn music? Mai whipped around and stood Jared in all his glittering, magnificent glory. My face turned into a blushing pink. The most beautiful guy in school. I see you're buying my totally sweet posters. Fucking porn music. Yeah, they're really something, Jared. I like your abs. With sudden soul-crushing realization what she said, her expression twisted to a mixture of horror and disgust. Jared was unfazed.
Hana?
Thanks, Hana, but it was actually you I wanted to speak to. Why would you want to talk to me? Oh, yeah, okay. What's up? Jared looked expectantly at Mai. She didn't move. Realizing she was in trouble, I nudged her with my elbow subtly as I could.
Hey.
Mai, would you go get me a soda? I'm really thirsty. Without a word, Mai scuttled away. Jared back at me with a cool glint in his eye. He seemed used to the effect that he had on women. I want to talk to you about the fashion show, actually. You're near here and all, so you probably don't know, but every year I like to put on this fashion show to showcase my modeling skills. Wait, what? You know, I just want to make sure people don't forget what I'm capable of. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a stack of glossy photos and thrust them into my hand. I stared down at them in awe. What the fuck? What the fuck are those photos? I flipped through them, starting to notice the pattern. As you can tell, my beauty is something that simply can't go to waste. I like to love fashion cheerier every at Asagao Academy to ensure everybody gets their yearly dose of Pro Jared. I flipped to the last photo. My heat shot up to my neck and to my ears. Surely this was some kind of joke. I shoved the stack of photos and had whipping my sweaty palm against my shirt. What does this have to do with me? That might have been a touch rude. Jared, as smooth as ever, simply smiled.
Perfect.
I think you have potential, Anna. He said, leaning close to me, so close in fact I could smell his cologne. A musky, sweet aroma of earthly scent and ham? Potential for what exactly? Jared swift, his mouth so close to my ear could feel his heat. For greatness. What the fuck? He reached into his shirt pocket and retrieved a small slip of paper. With quivering hands, I accepted it.
All right.
My card. My number's on the bottom. If you're ever interested, I can teach you a thing or two about modeling. I stared down at the card and my feeling looked away. It would disappear by the time I gathered the courage to face him again. Jared was gone. Feeling quite dizzy, I headed for class. The business card strangled to death in my white-knuckled hand. By the time I got through the milling students to classroom, Mai was sitting at her desk, face down and completely still. I took my seat and twisted around to poke the dejected Mai to heap. She didn't budge. Mai? I heard a muffled groan of despair.
I can't believe this.
I'm such a social disaster! No, you're not. I tried to sound comforting, but I was never good at this sort of thing. Mai finally lifted her head from her desk. What's that? She motioned to the business card and was still in my hand. I sat in front of her. Mai praised her for a long minute and with a blank face, as if I said a rare artifact in front of her that she didn't actually believe was real. Then her eyebrows pulled together. He gave you his number?
Well.
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, not really. He said I can call him whenever I want to teach me how to model like him. It was embarrassing to even say the words. It felt awkward in my mouth. The moment I said that out loud, I wish I could grab them back and swallow them. I expected Mai to give me once over before making off the cuff comment on how I was nearly pretty enough to be a model. But she didn't.
Yeah.
He, like, totally wants to get with you! Her tone matter-of-fact was, I guess. What? No, he doesn't. Why would you say that?
Bingo.
Okay, Hannah. I've taken enough sex ed. Whoa. Classes, you know when a guy fully wants you, and Jared, like, fully wants you. Mortified, I snatched a business card back off her desk and shoved it to my jacket pocket. Turning away, my cheeks felt like they were on fire. By now, the classroom was filled with students. They chatted about themselves, but the white noise of their conversation wasn't loud enough to drown my out. On the corner of my eye, I could see John and PBG seated at their desks in the back of the classroom. I'm talking seriously grabby hands in the back of my dad's cameo here. You're gonna make babies approach you, Hana. Little, glittering Jared babies. No, I'm not! You're totally crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Shiz, like some sort of angel, cleared her throat in front of the class. I exulted gratefully and sunk down into my seat. When class finally ended, Mai and I headed for the cafeteria. The incident forgotten in her attempt to explain Miss Shizer's scandalous last relationship.
Jerk!
Seriously, he spent all his time trying to choose between her and some dead chick who only liked him because he looked like her ex-boyfriend. I mean, who does that? We got our food and hesitated in the middle of the room, looking at the normal boots table. Neither of us wanted to go up and demand a seat, especially after wiggling our way into tape before. What if they changed their minds? But Sash, noting us standing like lost lambs in the middle of the room, waved us over.
Hey, girl.
Oh god! The pussy just drained. Oh, you know, normal. Snatch nodded and turned away, having being in the middle of talking to Josh. That was awkward, despite how familiarly he treated me. I can't fucking spot. The hashtag no to Jared. I still don't know how to talk to him or any of them. I looked across the table and locked eyes with PBG, who stared at me like I was a baby German shepherd. Ha, get it? Because he has German shepherds as his dogs.
All right.
Cookies! What?
Oh, sick.
You brought us cookies! You're the best, Gerard! Paul sprang out of his chair and practically tackled Gerard.
Huh?
Whoa, calm down, there's more than enough cookies to go around. Gerard started passing out the cookies around the table, but paused. You're back again? He looked at me and I tried to ignore the disappointment on his face.
Well,
Here. He handed us each a cookie and headed back across the cafeteria. I stared at the small chocolate chips melting in the warm cookie. Did he not us one here, but he was so nice yesterday. I didn't even want to eat the cookie. None of you's gonna be two-faced as that. Hey! Watch where you're walking next time! A sheepish Gerard stood next to the short, skinny boy who was holding his tray above his head. I'm sorry, I'll be more careful. Oh, you're from Normal Boots. Wait, you're the guy who plays with the itty-bitty kitties, aren't you? The boy sneered. How the hell did you manage to get into the group like that?
huh?
They're my friends. Playing with the stupid dolls? Your embarrassment. The kids' friends were hitting each other's shoulder, looking from Gerard's table to our own panicked eyes.
I like what I like.
Whatever. The kid was led off by his friends. Gerard came back, sat down at the table. That was weird. Gerard sat down, beginning happily munching on his cookie, looking for all the world like he didn't even care about what just happened. I scanned the cafeteria for the boy who heckled him, found him sitting alone at the table, head in his hands, his friend left him behind. What was that about? Oh, that. I used to get it all the time. I collect itty bitty kitty figurines. You know, from that kids show with the 5 kittens who like to live in Kitten Town. Gerard's a Brody! They were originally supposed to have magic powers, but whatever. I collected their figurines. They're so cute. I almost got them all. I'm only Mrs. Princess Pumpernickel. She's the rarest. But why was that guy making fun of you? Does it bother you? I was afraid of bringing up bad feelings, but Gerard just shook his head. It looks kind of weird, right? A teenage boy collecting toys meant for little girls?
Uh-huh.
But I like them, so I don't let it bother me. So, sorry I didn't bring enough cookies the first time, Hannah. I forgot that you were joining us again today, but I'm glad you're here. I bit my lips. See, Hannah? He was just being nice the whole time, and here you were jumping to conclusions. Hey, your cookie will get cold if you don't eat it. I wrapped the cookie. Sense of chocolate and cinnamon hit me. I broke off a piece and popped it in my mouth. Gerard whispered something to Nick's ear, who started laughing so hard milk came out of his nose. Was he really okay with people making fun of him? I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it. At my old school, people made fun of me every day. It was hell. There was no way he could just brush it off like that, not when I tried so hard to do the same. But as I finished the cookie and started my ramen, Jared continued to laugh at the rest of Normal Boots. I wondered whether it was impossible as I thought.
Oh, no.
What the fuck, Jared? Whoa! Let's just save. Just in case. So I finished the cookie and started on my ramen, blah blah. Hana, can you pass me some pepper? Whoa, what's going on here? Ignore. I think it's trying to render something. Jared, you're too hot for the screen! Here, I got it here, Jared. Thanks, what's your name again? It's Mai.
Nice.
Thanks, Mai.
Hannah!
Well, Hannah, you ready to head back? Yeah. Did Mai Looks sad, or did I imagine it? We threw our trays on the racks and headed out of the cafeteria. As we waited to Normalist and Jared cheerily way back, a sudden pain hit my stomach. Was it guilt? After class ended that day, Mai said she had volleyball practice and sped off. Thankfully, this time I know where I was going, so I headed straight back and collapsed on my bed. It was nice to have some time to myself. After everything just happened, I felt it was going crazy. I could use some relaxation. I didn't have a computer or TV, and the book stash gave me was really good, but sometimes it got a bit hard to read. So instead, I took out my phone and started flipping through the App Store. Nothing really looked good. Wait, what was this? I sat up. Dumbledore's Revenge. Face off against the 3 other players as you catch monsters and raise them. Use their unique skill to aid you on your puzzle-solving quest, and only you can save the meta world from an ignorant king and utter destruction. Now with a single-player campaign, raise crops to feed your monsters. If you're lucky, they'll transform into cute girls. What the hell? It looks so stupid, but it couldn't hurt to give it a try. I downloaded and started up the game. Welcome to Dummy Dude's Revenge! I skipped the intro sequence. Quickly hit single player. Loading! Load times were terrible. Suddenly a cartoon's hill of valley met my eyes, panning over to a white castle nestled onto a cliff. A lazy king lay asleep on the throne as a quat silver sailor ran into the room. King Dumbledore, quickly, we're under attack! Oh, just set the first battalion off, please, I'm rather tired. The knight left and the screen faded to the world map, showing hordes of black blobs on the right side of the screen. A small group of knights ran against the blobs and were instantly devoured. One of the black blobs spilled out a helmet with a skull inside. What the hell is this game? Things continue this way with the knights sending off battalions haphazardly until no one was left. Then the king awoke in his chair and turned to the screen. You! Me? Only you can save my kingdom, please! I don't think I can save your kingdom. You're the one menacing it. How dare you! What the hell? Could this thing hear me? You are no longer my advisor. Go back to your home village and let me deal with this myself. A tiny sprite with brown hair flew across the world map, bouncing into a bed of roundhouses. I guess my only choice is to raise an army of monsters myself and overthrow the king, and then raise an army to fight upon the bloody blobs. How the hell did you come to that conclusion? Finally, I was allowed to play the actual game. A dozen multicolored blocks appeared on the screen. Monsters I was initially given could only hit their corresponding colors and couldn't activate any traps. Supposedly, more monsters should eventually learn how to set traps, and you could do certain combos to hinder the opposing team. If you had attracted a girl on your team, you can use the ability double the rate of your opponent's blocks or half their clock time. But that was a drawback for you too, because it only be used as an asset by the opponent. Not to mention the certain color combination between girls and monsters activate unit sex blah blah blah. How the heck am I supposed to remember all this? I failed the first 2 times and quickly got the hang of it. It was just about being adaptable, maintaining flexible strategy after all. My eyes started to hurt and I looked down all the time. 8 o'clock? It's been 4 hours?! I had reading to do! I grabbed my textbook and flicked my radio on and began to read. There have been many tales of time where the moon has fallen over other planets, the most popular of these being the myth of Termania. However, these myths have been proved to be more than a hallucination. My eyes blurred over my astronomy textbook and I yawned. The sculptor pierce floating over my radio made me want to go to sleep. I took the idea of going to class without finishing my reading. Who cared how many times the moon was supposed to fall, especially when time travel was involved? Hana! Mai burst into the room, flung herself in the room and grabbed my radio. Hey, where have you been? What are you doing? Give me a second, we're missing it! There we go! But I swear that dog was the living worst. That's why you need a bird like my lovely Jax. Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue. What is this? Shh.
Hey.
So the time has come to make an official announcement. This year, just like every year, the Normal Views Club will be participating in the video game tournament.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yeah! As PPG applauded, there was a crowd of 30 people. I shut up a puzzled glance at Maya. Hope you guys will support us again this year. Best of luck to our competitors. You guys are going down. And now for some music. I turned down the radio inside. Okay, what did you want? What was that? It's PB&J, PBG's and John radio show. They have a radio show? What do they do on it? Oh, you know, they talk and stuff and play music sometimes. Everyone in school listens to it. I'm so glad you brought your radio. I forgot to buy it at home. In a video game tournament? Yeah, didn't you hear them talking about it the other day? No. Come to think about it, I haven't paid much attention to their conversations. I was too busy worrying about myself. Every year they have a game tournament at Alma Mall. Lots of people come to compete, but everybody knows the real fight is between Normal Biz Club and the Hidden Block Club. Isn't that what they do? Video game tournaments? Yeah, that's why no one ever joined them since they're in inception. Well, I guess they're partly a group of friends who happen to make a club together, but you also, unless you're really talented, you wouldn't drag them down. Ouch. Not all of them are so harsh, but some of them, well... I glanced away and I felt like she knew who he was talking about. That's too bad. The conversation I had before Jimmy and Caddy came to my mind. Had they really thought I was joining the Normal Biz Club? There was no way. I had played video games since I was a kid. My father gave me a 4DS when I left home, but... That night before I left home, Asagao, my dad came to visit me in my room. I'd pack a few things. I owned a briefcase and a single cardboard box to be shipped with the train. I sat and stared at the box, somewhat bitter. I could barely even needed it. I didn't own it so much. Hana? Yeah, Dad? My father stood in front of me. A weirdly smile came across his face. Even though he tried to hide it, I could see his deep wrinkles around his eyes and his forehead that he was tired. Sad that the past few years had been taking a toll on him. I hadn't eased things. You'll be leaving tomorrow. Yeah. A heavy silence hung between us, filling my childhood bedroom like a styrofoam. Are you excited? Yeah. Yeah, I am. He nodded and glanced around my room with the pale blue walls, the broken clock above my old desk, the scuff marks around the doorframe from where I branded to as a kid. I lived in this house almost my whole life, and ever since moving after kindergarten, it was almost everything I knew, but now it was too much for me. The decision to transfer to Asagao didn't come lightly. At first, I thought it was a prestigious institution with a highly prized reputation. Only the best of the best, tooting either great grades or impressive talent, or lots of money, could get in. I was none of those things, but I made it in regardless. Part of me is suspected I was a charity case. I received a small scholarship, and no doubt would look good for the academy to foster poverty-stricken childhoods in its walls. And despite the fact that my father couldn't afford it, even with the scholarship, he guaranteed he'd support me if I went. I looked again at the wrinkles in his face, sagging his shoulders. He pressed his hands against the body of the way. All for me. He'd been all alone. I'm glad you're going. I think this would be great for you. Yeah. I wish I could say something else, but nothing came. Well, honey, just in case you get homesick, I brought a present for you. Present? From his pocket, my dad produced this shining pink Nintendo 4DS and placed it into my hands. For you, but why? How? Dad, this costs so much money. You're already killing yourself to let me go. Why would you? Tears spilled from my eyes. My dad smiled. Nothing is too good for you, my dear Hannah. His voice was trembling. You're my pride and joy. You deserve so much more than you've gotten from me. Dad, go to Asagao. Have fun. Make lots of friends. And when you get homesick, play with that. It will make do. I stood up and hugged him, burying my face into a scratchy sweater and oatmeal smell. I'll miss you. I'll miss you too, my little Hannah. But the thing is, he forgot to give me a cartridge to play with. Oh. Now I glanced at the machine, hidden behind my desk lamp. Mai watched me carefully. Well, you never know what could happen. What do you mean? Nothing at all, but I just got back, so I got work to do. Work, right. PB and I still had that project due, and we hadn't met to discuss it at all. He said he had it under control, but I should probably make a backup plan just in case. It wasn't that I didn't trust him, it was just that, okay, I did trust him. Sighing, I kinked out my shoulder, it would be a long night. Ugh. Is that a noise? Stop it, please. I'm coming. Who on earth would do this so early? So early in the morning, in fact, that it wasn't even light out. Quietly patted over the door, Mai shifted in her bed. What? Who are you? Oh, Joshlina. She pushed past me and swept into the room, flipping on the light switch. Paul and Nick followed after her. Hana, I just feel terrible for ruining your uniform. Sincerely, we owe you an apology and a clean uniform. I'm not so good at that kind of thing, so I brought a friend to help me. Josh pulled open my drawer and tossed out clothes left and right. Oh my god, stop this, my underwear, what is wrong with you? I ran and grabbed his arm, trying to pull him away. These panties are so cute, they're perfect for you. Get away from there! Where's your uniform? I ducked a low jog and pulled the drawer, pulling out the sticky fabric. Here, take it. I threw it at Josh's face, but he caught it with ease. This is no problem. I'll promise to have this clean in no time, girls. He snapped. Follow me. Paul, Nick, and Josh went for my room. They didn't head towards to the hall exit. Instead, they turned left, disappearing into the dormitory. I didn't have a good feeling about this. I stepped into my slippers and ran to the hallway just in time to see the door to the girls' bathroom close. Oh no. What are you doing in here? I sprinted the bathroom door before I could get there. Paul and Nick slammed to the wall across the door. Men like you are the worst.
Whoa!
Whoa! No, this was all misunderstanding, please! I'm sure it was. No, Mimi, it really was. Wait a second, where's the other person who was with them? She's doing something in uniform in the sink. Mimi tossed her head with a sniff and headed back to the bathroom. She actually thinks Josh is a girl? She wouldn't be the first. Josh himself believes he's a girl. That wig is magical. Well, stay out of the girls' bathroom! It's not exactly gonna help your platform if world gets around to your pervert. A shadow felt over Paul's face. I sighed. Don't worry, I'll talk to Mimi. Go. Back to the boys' dorm.
Alright.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Yeah. I watched over the scamper away, headed to the bathroom. Hey, Joshulina? You and I should probably get going. Around the corner, found him doing Mimi's hair. What the fuck? In a second, Hannah, I just gotta finish this. Hannah, have you met Joshulina? She's so good with hair. And look, she even got a stain out of this shirt. Mimi held up my uniform.
Really?
Really? Thank goodness. Thank you so much. It's no problem, honey. I guess I'll let you finish, Mimi. You won't tell anybody about Paul and Nick coming to the bathroom, will you? Why would I? Well, as a class representative, they were just trying to help out Jocelyn to get her bearings, and they were showing her where the bathroom was. I should have been the one to show her, but I was asleep and they didn't want to wake me up. Oh well, I guess it's fine then. Thank you. I stood staring at them, unsure what to do next. Do you mind? I need to concentrate to finish this. Oh, I'm sorry. I went back to my room. Life at Asagao never got easier, did it? Mai was still asleep when I got back. There was no way I was going back to bed, so I changed into my uniform, grabbed my bag, and went to class early. My plan was to get started on the project Miss Shiznu gave us. As sincere as PBG was, I wasn't quite sure he'd hold up his end of the bargain. I stepped in the classroom, went to my seat, throwing my bag against the desk. A small snap came across the room. Shane was at his desk, giving me a look. Do you mind? I'm trying to work. Oh, I'm sorry. I locked the door. I was too late to leave, but I didn't want to be stuck by with a guy who clearly hated me. I sat down at my desk and looked at my hands. This is the quietest place I can find in the morning.
Really?
Really? Not the library? Shane shook his head. I see. I'll try not to bother you. He shook his head again. You're fine. Do whatever. Be awkward that I just sat here like that. So, what are you working on? Shane looked at me for a moment. I thought he wasn't gonna answer. Then he waved me over. I crossed the room to his desk and I looked over his shoulder. Several sheets of paper with lightly sketched out lines laid in front of him. He looked like they were for comics? You draw comics? Yeah. What about... He shrugged. Whatever. He said with a touch of finality, so I skipped to another topic. Do you mind if I ask where you're from? Shane grew a heavy sigh. Can you not tell by my accent? I'm from England. This is my second year. Oh. He continued to draw, etching the lines of the British flag about what used to looked like a government building. Do you miss it? He had finished shading the lines before responding. I guess my whole family is there. You're by yourself. Why'd you come here? Class will start soon. Don't you have something to work on? Ouch. Taking the hint, I went back to my desk. Suddenly, the door slammed open.
Hey!
Hey, look, we got here early. Wonderful. Oh, Hana, Shane, it looks like the four of us would stir up some trouble. Trouble? Let's put an egg on Miss Shiz's chair. I bet you think it was hilarious.
No.
Ah, come on. I bet you can find an exploding bird or two to dive on us during class.
No.
I bet you could probably bake her a cake. Filled with knives!
Really?
The heck is wrong with you? Shane was more of an ocean away from his family and friends. I was the only 2 hours away from my dad, and yet I missed him so much. Was Shane homesick at all? Soon the other students filled the room, and Maya enjoyed joining me, asking where I abandoned her. I filled her on the situation. She had a good laugh, but as the clock ticked closer to the class time, I felt something was missing. Eventually, I realized what it was. PBG wasn't in class yet. Bell rang as Miss Shiz came in. The class began, and he was still nowhere to be found. Where was he? The real problem here is guiding me that necessary in RPGs. If you ask me, the whole system is flawed. Miss Shiz, we're on tangent again. She must have gotten stood up. Class was nearly over, and PBG still hadn't shown. I was worried. No one else seemed to care. That kid always misses class. Still, why was he sick? Why didn't anyone care? The sound of the bell, Miss Shiz jumped. Oh well, turn to page 2, reflection why the human species as a whole is an emotion rage of teaspoon. Due tomorrow. She definitely got stood up. Miss Shiz. I stood up and dashed to your desk. Yes, Hana. PBG wasn't in class today, and I can't. Can I take his notes to him if you need? Oh, Hana, you're such a godsend. Miss Shiz's eyes watered. She leaned over the desk and pulled me into a hug. It's wonderful to see your youth have hope. Hana, she pulled away and stared into my eyes. Don't ever give up on love. If you're young, if PBG is the one you want, you have to buy plastic. Here, take these papers. She shoved the handouts from today's class in my hand and gathered her things. Bless your heart. She left the room crying. Haha, poor thing. She must have really liked this one. Does this happen often? Often enough so you'll be taking that to PBG? Yeah. But now that I think of it, I don't really know his room number. 402. What? How? It's next to Gerard's room, of course, so I notice him leaving in the mornings. Oh. I've got tryouts, so I won't be able to go with you. Good luck, though I'm sure he'll be happy to see you. I told you, I don't think he feels that way. What is this? 400, 401, 402. Here it is. I paused in front of the door, and my heart in my throat. I suddenly felt horribly stupid bringing this to him. It wasn't like he ever would look at it. He said himself that he hated school. But what if he was dying there? John went to drama club and he wouldn't be back for a few hours. Seconding up, I knocked on the door. Who is it? It's Hannah. I brought some notes from. The door swung open before I could finish my sentence. PBG beamed down at me.
Hannah.
Hannah, hi. Come in. Thanks. I'm in a messy room. Posters line the wall, and a small Hardest Noon plushies will find up on one of the beds, which I assume to be PBG's. A TV was in the center of the room. Turby twinkled around happily from the pause menu. You were playing games? Huh? Oh yeah. PBG closed the door behind me. I didn't feel like going to class today, so I thought I'd stay in and do some work. Well, we have a tournament coming up, so this kind of counts. I brought you stuff that we went over in class. Oh, thank you. He took the papers out of my hand and set them on the desk next to a small stack of manga. I'm glad you're feeling well. Were you worried that I was sick? Sorry. But that's adorable. I'm so happy kind of thinking about it. Do you want to hang out? We do have to work on a project at some point anyways, right? Well, I did really have anything else planned. Great. He plopped in the beanbag and slapped a pillow down next to him. Do you want to play? No, I'm not too good at games. I think I'll just watch. Okay then. He unpaused the game. The turbine sprinter across the screen, shooting fireballs from his mouth. PB and I didn't talk much. Instead, I commented on the game and laughed at him when he died. Before I knew, the sun was setting and I had to leave. You're welcome back anytime. Actually, we're having a Stomping Sisters tournament in 2 days. You can come if you want.
Really?
See ya.
Awesome. It'll be noon in this room. I'll see you there. I left the dorm and stepped into the fading sunlight. The air was warm, filled with small, freshly cut grass. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something about being around PBG was comforting. I think my dad's home. Shaking my head, I went back to the dorms.
Hey.
Hey, Mai. How did tryouts? Hannah, close your eyes, don't move! Before I could flip on the light switch, something warm collided with me and my eyes were covered. What is going on? Stop squirming and run it! Room what? Just follow my lead, okay? Mai guided me through the room, telling me where to slip. Down! She put her hand on my back and folded me in half, inching me. Something felt like a roof. Almost done. What exactly is going on? And ta-da! I gasped. My, what is this? Does it look like it's a Pelifort? I've been looking forward to this for ages. Tryouts already happened, and I made the team. Easy. I left early because I wanted to set this up for you. For me? Well, for us. You've been such a good friend to me, Hannah. I'm so glad that we got to be roomies. I wanted to do something for you to make you feel more at home. I see how panicked you are going around school. I don't know what happened to your life, but Asagao is his fresh start, right? You got me, you got the school, and normal boots, too. If you're up for this, this could be your new life. You don't ever have to look back. I'm just reading chat. And now, this is where we can play. Mai?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it. I totally knew you were gonna cry.
Perfection.
I guess this means I was successful. Mai, you've done it again. Mai. I slammed her into a hug. Well, be careful. You don't want to break it. This took me forever. I was bullied at my old school. That's why I came here. And it was only because my dad gave up everything to afford it. And I thought you wouldn't like me. I had a hard time trusting people. But if you wanted to, I think that we could be best friends. Oh, no, I'm gonna cry. Yeah, let's be friends. Oh, I'm so happy. Me too. Together we'll be unstoppable. I'll say. Let's hook you up. Let's hook you and Jared up. Oh, man, I can't even speak to him without self-destructing. It's fine. No, there's no way he can fall for you. Oh yeah? And no one's caught your eye yet? Huh? I'd say there's more than a few suitors on your horizon. Aren't you gonna give it a shot? Me? Dating? I shifted across the fort I made, stuffing rabbits sitting on my bed in the window with a view of the Scaria's matured lad. I'd like to change so quickly. You know, maybe I could.
Yeah.
Aw, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, I prepared some activities for us. Look. She pulled out a tablet and opened up an app. We're going to the marathon through Vavatar? I don't know. Too late! She pressed play. As evening faded into night, we huddled in a blanket fort, watching episode after episode and messing with each other. Happier than I've ever been for a long time, I rested my head on my shoulder. Before I knew it, I'd fallen asleep. As usual, the next day, Mai and I got to school, still poking fun of each other for our moments the night before. But as we approached Poppy Hall, I noticed something I felt different. A popular tension hung in the air. It was almost humid. Man, what is up with everyone?
I don't know.
Is there a test today? Not that I know of. As we entered the building and turned the corner, it suddenly made sense. Jared and Paul were arguing amongst a long crowd, spit flying from their mouths, while Nick and Joss walked along the hallway, passing close to Paul's face over Jared's modeling shot. I thought I told you to stop and take those posters down. No, what's wrong with you? These walls are everyone's space. We don't have to listen to you. And you should know this campaign is way more important than your little fashion show. No, but mine were here first. Lay off them. It's between you and me, Jared. Leave them out of it. You've been taking up all the wall space with your show. The student elections are much more important. It's our government. The student government doesn't even do anything. Whoa. As current president, I can say with full knowledge and proper authority that the student government does a ton for the school. You just don't even know it, Jared. You don't even know how. What did the student government actually... She wasn't with me anymore. She pried herself between Jared and Paul and was pushing them apart. I ran forward to help her. You guys should stop.
Hannah.
Sorry, Hannah. I didn't mean to yell. We want your opinion on something. You're a regular student, a new student, so you're uninvolved. What do you think is more important, our student government or the fashion show? What a cheese between you. They both let out a heavy sigh.
Aww.
That doesn't help us. It was amazing they even cared what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah's usually right about these things. You should listen to her. Mai patted me on the back and I jumped. I forgot that she was there. Jared looked at Mai, raising an eyebrow. Are you sure, Mai? Don't you have your own opinion? Why do you even bother to ask? Well, if I'm being honest, I care more about the fashion show. I go to elections because I have to, but I go to the show because I want to. Plus, it raises a lot of money for the school. Thank you. It's just as dramatically as Mai's. Her opinion sealed the deal. That's because we made it a fundraiser. At the 5-minute bell, the class was about to start. Jared nodded to us and walked away. Paul opened his mouth out to say something more, but eventually thought of it better. He headed after Jared and with Nick and Joss, thanking for the help. Being a year ahead of us, the classes would be on the next floor. Mai began to follow them, but I gently pulled her arm. Our classroom was the other way.
Oh, Jared.
If you need any help with the show, I'm here. Her yell echoed through the emptying hallway. Jared, without looking back, raised a hand in acknowledgement. Wincing, I dragged her into the classroom. After the drama that morning, I wasn't sure what to expect at lunch. I donned on my own and making excuses about copying notes, hoping to whatever tension remained would dispel us while I was gone. I got to the cafeteria and it seemed like my plan succeeded.
Hannah!
We saved a spot for you! Get over here! Mai sat at the Normal Boots club table, looking at it like she's completely belonged. She waved to me to join her. I sat down here at the edge of the table. Josh was across from me. Made eye contact as I sat down, so I nodded slightly to him. He nodded back. I feel accepted.
Hey.
Hey, Anna. It was glass. Good. PPG might have already told you, but we're working together on our project. It's going pretty well. I'm doing the... Is that Gerard back there? In a shy moment of not wanting to look at the eye, I decided to saw Gerard in the back of the cafeteria with someone I didn't know. Everyone was turned to look. He's probably doing some trading. Satch waved a hand. So I borrowed a new driving tablet the other day, hoping I could use it to make plans for my next machine. Satch changed the subject, and everyone started talking about that. However, I kept my concentration on Gerard, who was holding a small figurine. Same with the girl who was talking to. Were those doing trading? Those are itty-bitty kitties. They're really popular right now. I'm surprised you don't recognize them. They're kitty figures of all different shapes and color. I have a few myself.
Uh-huh.
You know me, I'm hip to know about these things. They're pretty cute, but kind of a little girl thing. She shrugged. Gerard has noticed the completionist around here. Every time he gets a new thing popular, he collects them all. I've never seen his collection, but I hear they're really impressive. You have to be a dedicated person to do something like that. The completionist? Was that why he was so thorough at giving me a tour? IBK is the thing right now. And last year, I think the first year, there were a lot of people calling these silly, slimy snakes, but that got old fast. Teachers didn't like everything coated in a thin layer of slime, and I still have one in our room. I can show you sometime. Tapped Maya on the shoulder. She whirled around, hitting me in the face with her hair. Yeah? I wanted to thank you for this morning. Oh no, it's nothing. Definitely, I mean it. As Gerard and I spoke, my eyes went to the back of Gerard's exchange. The girl pulled the second figurine out of her bath and held both of them up. Gerard expected and shook his head. He pulled another one out, and she pulled another one out, and suddenly this time, Gerard's face lit up as he held out his figurine. They swapped. How bittersweet, letting go of something you love to get something you would potentially love more. What did you think, Hana? My attention was pulled away. I hadn't been listening to conversation. Yes or no? Yeah? Interesting. Mai gave me a skeptical glance and then I turned away. I bowed my head in apology as I took one last look at the intriguing trade happening. The girl left. Gerard was now talking to a boy with a messy appearance and made exaggerated hand motions. It looked like you just got out of bed. Was this another trade?
All right.
So official announcement, in case you haven't heard. We're having a competition tomorrow. Just a little casual something to get us ready for the tournament.
Yeah.
Finally! Yeah! Been planning something like this since last year. My attention snapped back to the conversation happening in front of me. Was this what PBG was talking about yesterday? Hannah, Mai, you're invited if you want to come. Either way is fine, but let me know so I can plan. How does it work? It's a little thing Some lighthearted fun to start off the new year. Lighthearted fun, my ass. John almost broke Shaz's nose back here, and Gerard twisted his ankle. Sashi delightfully raised his hand to his nose.
No.
It was an accident! You forgot the part where you almost passed out from blood loss, Shane. I didn't forget. He looked away. I could never forget. I don't know about this. I'm not very good at video games.
Yeah.
Sure you are, Gerard will come.
All right.
Awesome, I'll plan for you guys to be there. Don't worry, Hannah. It's actually fun. You probably won't even get hurt. As much as I was afraid of possibly losing a limb, I really did want to go. I was glad Mai was there to force me into it. Without her, I'd be a lonely transfer, probably eating grass by myself at this very moment.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Thanks for inviting us. Of course. It'd be rude to have you sit us in lunch and then ban you from our tournaments. Plus, it'd be nice to have some new competition. I look forward to winning. The rest of the lunch passed by completely uneventfully. I was too busy staring at the food in front of me, enjoying horror and mixing into my stomach. There was no way I was going to beat even one of the normal boost boys. I would make a fool of myself. But still, I was getting to go, so it was a privilege no one else shared. Paul looked at me with what seemed like concern, and I smiled at him. He grinned and returned back to his food. The least I could do is give him a chance, right? After a long day of class, we finally was over and were ready to go home. Miss Shiz still wasn't over her breakup, and Mai complained loudly that she needed a new man so the homework would stop being so killer. It was something to do, though. What else would I be doing if not homework? Studying, probably.
Hannah.
Before we go back to the dorms, there's something in A32 that I want you to show you. Come on. A32, wasn't that the normal police club room? We're not allowed in there. There's no meeting today, so no one's going to be there either. That's exactly why we need to go now. I grabbed my hand and dragged me through the halls. I don't know about this. What if somebody sees us? You act natural, no one else would care. There's too many people around that'll be interested in what we're doing. Mine was full of confidence that I wish I shared. I really don't think I'm comfortable with this. I stopped the classroom door, gently tugging on it. Sweet, they left it open. He pulled me inside the clubroom door and shut the door behind us. It's in here. Here was a storage closet, very back of the room, a white plain cabinet. She stopped short of the door, looking expectantly at me as I tugged the knob, expecting to be locked like all the storage closets were. The knob didn't move, confirming my suspicion. I really swept through me. Well, darn, it looks like it's locked. I guess you have to show me. We'll have to wait till another day, or maybe never. Oh, I know it's locked. That's why I have these. She pulled out a shiny chain of keys from her pocket, eyes sparkling.
What?
Shiz's keys? Who gave you those? No, and I'm borrowing them for a bit. No harm done. She fiddled with the door handle, going after key after key. I'm seriously uncomfortable with this. Someone is bound to find out. They always do. Finally, there was a small click and the lock relented. Don't worry, Hannah. I'll protect you. I opened the closet and a light shone down directly into its contents.
Yay!
There they are! There they are! To my utter bewilderment, sat luminescent golden boots resting on a velvet pedal in a case and glass box. What are these? I stepped closer in the case. I was pulling my hand in the glass, but stopped inches before, wrought with guilt. We shouldn't be in here. These, Hannah, are the boots. The boots! The symbol of the normal boots. This is their club room after all, and I'm telling you, these guys don't mess around. Is it made of gold? Real gold? It must have cost a fortune. I say they're solid gold, only worth 100,000 yen or so, but to really make sure. My fingers wiggled in front of her face. Before I could stop her, she opened the glass case and lifted the boots from their velvet pillow and they rested on. Bye, please be careful. I grabbed the boots from underneath it in case she dropped them. The good thing too, because they were heavy. The glass cool, hard to the touch, but the boots were definitely not wearable, but anything but normal. Mai bounced them up and down, weighing them with her hands. Her arm flexed as she did so. I realized that her pats on her back were so much volleyball made her strong.
Bingo.
Yeah, they're definitely solid gold. Mimi lied to me. She said they were gold-plated. I didn't believe her, so I had to check. You dragged me along instead of her? This display of wealth made my stomach churn. I saw they were a symbol, but I saw months of food for my father and I. 100,000 yen were just lying in a closet protected by a singly poorly guarded key. It might not be a big deal to the student with rich parents, but the majority of the academy. But it was more disturbing to me. Yes, you. I want you to experience this with me. I silhouetted by the warm glow of the spotlight, Mai smiled at me. The smile was maybe okay with being here without permission. Almost. Plus, when we get caught, we'll be okay. There's no way they can punish you. You were like, really you. What? The storm lights flickered on. We both turned up, still holding the boots. Shane stood in the doorway. Maybe not that one. What are you doing here? That case is supposed to be locked. Well, it was locked. Why? We're really sorry, Shane. We heard the boots were kept in here. We were curious, that's all. No harm done, right? Here, Mai. Let's give the boots back to him. Yeah, I was just showing her. We're not suspicious. You guys hide it away. How is anybody supposed to see it? She handed the boots to Shane. He placed and carried them back to the case, adjusting the pillow to the center.
No.
Hide it from people who are at the club, like you. And the case clicks shut. Shane, I'm sorry. Do not come back here. Get out of my sight. But I'm containing my anger right now. But your continued presence is making that even more difficult. I gulped and Mai dashed out the door. Shane slammed the door behind us. Do you think he's gonna tell the rest of them? I really hope not. I might have ruined my reputation with them.
Sorry.
I think you mean I might have ruined your reputation with them. She threw her head back and laughed, not quite grasping the consequence of her actions. You'll be fine. I'll be even fine. They're students like us. It's not like we stole it. But Shane, he was really angry. That was just an act. Don't worry about it, Hannah. I said I'd protect you, right? Her words seemed genuine, though, but I had a hard time believing her. It was almost like she planned for us to get caught. Okay. Good. Now let's head back to the dorms. The competition is tomorrow. I do not planning on losing due to lack of sleep. The tournament, I completely forgot. Will they even let us participate considering what we just did? She happily skipped down the hall, somewhat impervious to my anxieties. Heart heavy, I followed her. Only time would tell. Saturday dawned bright and harsh. The clouds light on my mirrors, a gloomy mood, as I quickly dressed and woke up Mai. Mai, it's time to get up.
Morning.
Why? The video game competition, remember? We're playing Stupendous Stomping Sisters today. I saw straight up at her bed. Oh my god, Jared! I can't hang out with Jared today! She catapulted from the top bunk and sprinted. I heard crashes and shake. What the fuck? Sun slowly rose through the window and everything would just be fine, right? Soon Mai returned fully dressed, raring to go. Come on, Hannah, let's go. She grabbed my hand and dragged me into the campus commons. Her incessant tugging hurt, but I followed her silently. Even more strangely, she wasn't talking either. Our nerves had gotten the better of us, both. We wandered the halls of the boys' dorm, making our way to 402. The dormitory itself smelled awful, like stale Dorito chips. I wonder how I never noticed it when I was here the first time. I came on a weekend. Rather than wandering the campus all day for classes and clubs, most people were sleeping or hanging out in their rooms. Mai slowed down as we climbed the stairs, staring at the floor. The closer we got, the slower we progressed. We opened up the fourth door and crossed the hall. We finally stood in front of PBG and John's door. You should knock.
What?
What, me? You should knock. You got here first. Yeah, but you're their friend. Well, you know them better. But you've got pink hair! Is there a problem, ladies? Bill froze. The scent of ham whipped the air.
Oh, Jared.
Good morning.
Is there something wrong with the door? I don't know, we didn't want to wake them up in case they were still sleeping. I don't think they mind having you wake them up. Mai's lips almost rolled in the back of her head. Here, allow me. He leaned between us and tapped on the door. He was surprisingly tall, and being somewhat 10 inches shorter than me, he towered me. He looked down at me and winked. Door flew open.
Hey.
Hey guys, glad you can make it. We'll be a bit squished in here, but it's better than nothing. What, we couldn't get the classroom this year? I jumped. Shane stood behind me, expressionless. I didn't even see him come. Yeah, it turns out Hidden Block decided to book it for the same day. Wonder what for. John snorted somewhere in the background. I'm sure your room is better than nothing. Oh, Shane, with the zingers. That wasn't a zinger. Are you just gonna stand outside or are you coming in? We stepped through the threshold, a fully complete entering PBG in John's room. Boys' territory. We were out of our element. Mine have never been in the room before, and she glanced at the walls, shelves, and desks like a manic squirrel. Her eyes gleamed and had sneaking suspicion she was making note of what she saw for her own nervous purposes. Though, they were what I had no idea. Rather, I didn't want to know. Go on, take a seat anywhere. I looked to my left and saw boxers laying on the desk drawer, bloodshot to my face. Were they used? PBG followed my gaze and turned red. Oh. Let me clean up a bit. Pigsty. Pigsty. Do they have pigsties in England? Everything in America is derived of England. But we're in Japan. Shane looked at me blankly. Man, we're so lucky that the Wii U and has 8-player stomp. I'm excited to crush you, Shane.
John sucks.
Oh!
Hey.
Hello, guess he's here. Gerard entered the room without knocking, a bright smile on his face.
Hold on.
Aw, man, Shane got here before me. Did you fail to see me leave?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I was hoping you were in the bathroom or something. Brought extra controllers. There's nobody knock around here. No, why would we? To be polite? Girl and ridiculous social constructs. What? A knock clattered through the entire way as I pointed towards the door in defiance. See, someone knocked.
Good morning.
Hello, I brought bagels. Figured we didn't want to repeat them last year. My stomach grumbled as she turned red. That's what I thought. Ah, that's my husband.
You're perfect.
The best partner anybody could ask for. You're truly the best of us. Can't you just ask for one normally? I brought enough for everyone. Gerard leaned in against his head against Chef's shoulder and turned and whispered into his ear. I knew I could trust you. Okay, then. Well, everybody pick a place to sit and we'll hand out our bagels and we'll get started. I scuttled to the side of the room against PBG's bed and next to mine. We've been sitting with them at lunch, but it was until now that I just realized how crazy all the normal boots guys could want to do. I can't speak. I should take a break soon. 10 adolescent men in one room. Not to mention all friends and part of the same club. Their personalities mingled in different ways, but I almost couldn't focus over the myriad of inside jokes, shouting voices, and flailing limbs. That is till the character selection screen came on. In the blink of the eye, the controllers are gone. PB glanced over and noticing I didn't have one, offered me his. No, really, I'm not good at these kind of games. There's no way you're worse than me, or Jimmy for that matter. Seeing as he didn't want to take no for an answer, I grabbed the controller and selected my character. Turby. He was cute and bouncy. Even though he didn't seem super powerful, he looked like an easy enough character for a beginner to grasp. Although, there was something in his eyes that seemed a little... Is everybody ready? I swallowed hard, the controller already slippery from my sweat. I'd never played Stomp before, though I watched others do so. I looked at the buttons on the controller, trying to guess at what button did what. On the top of the buttons that probably jumped. Obviously, the analog stick moved the characters. They selected a stage, something with a cute little house and a smallish animals bopping around the background. There was buttons on the back that clicked when you hit them, but I didn't know what they did. 3. Oh, there was a rubber button on the top right, though not on the left. 2. And another analog stick. What was that for? The camera? Oh, how can we all control the same camera at once? 1. Oh no! Go. Die, Shane, die! What the hell? Attack everyone, not just me. But you're my mortal enemy. Josh, what was that for? I wasn't even fighting you. You were wide open, and death waits for no one. You're next. The battle began. A display of slight mercy. The boys left me alone to wander the field to get a sense of my character. Oh, that does the jump. Hit the jump button again, and again, and again, watching my character float higher and higher towards the sky. I can fly! My jump was cut short as a Noki ball emerged from nowhere and pegged my pink blob in the eye, and it fell off the screen despite everything to jump back up. It wouldn't let me. Hi! Turby can kind of hover for a while, but eventually gets too full of air and has to land. Otherwise, he'd be too OP. Oh. But I doubt down B. Down B? The commotion of the march, cuirasses, and death threats were mixing with the clack of controllers. No one was listening what Nick was saying. The key to getting someone to hear this commotion, it seemed, was to shouting their name at the beginning of your sentence. Gerard! Shatch! I frowned as my pink little blob fell back on the map, following Nick's device. I hit down B. A cloud appeared from the big guy and became a rock. What? I don't understand. What would a rock do? I repeated the same move over and over times, moving into a rock some sort on the ground, never hurting anyone near me. Suddenly, exploded rocked the ground and Turby fell into the air just as I hit down B.
No!
To my surprise, he formed into a rock and fell directly onto John's head. He sent Nario flying off the screen and died. You're on my shit list! I'm very sorry. It didn't take long after me to die 5 pitiful, painful deaths. But as soon as my little turd tumbled off the screen for the 6th and final time, a small surge of pride hit me. I killed John, the JonTron, even by accident. I handled my controller to my and sat back completely satisfied. If it weren't for the fact that it was my turn, I'd jump back in, eager to find other strategies for murdering my friends and potentially stirring up the hit list a mile long. This is the joy of the games. After finally playing a few rounds, the official tournament started. People played one-on-one matches against each other, slowly thinking out the competition over time. Mai went before me and was rather unfairly paired against Gerard. Every blow he dealt out was out to hers, and then mine. Some sort of physical contact, at least judging by the same way she shivered when she hit his. I can't fucking speak. Honestly, she died almost immediately. I was the last person to go against PBG. The others chuckled as we were past the controllers. Don't worry, Hannah. PBG is the easiest of all of us. You're bound to beat him. Oh, come on, guys. Don't worry, Hannah. I'll go easy on you. I noticed PBG pickled the most level playing field. The small powder was floating in space. As the match started, PBG gradually held against his players still. Go ahead and test your moves.
You're a great friend.
Yeah, real nice. I tested my moves while doing my hand brushes against the yellow stick. Took a messing low kick and my eyebrows raised. That looked powerful. Ready to go?
Yeah.
I think so. PBG was Charles across the screen. When he came close enough for me to hit, I pushed the yellow stick in the direction. He flew across the screen. My mouth opened. PBG gritted his teeth. I see how it is. No more Mr. Nice Guy then. I partially doubted that PBG was a non-nice bone in his body, but the match had begun. It was a long battle, but a surprisingly long battle. We seemed to be evenly matched. Right up till the very end, when I smashed him off the screen with Turby's hammer. I set the controller down quietly, not particularly happy having crushed PBG in my second match ever of Stomp. PBG nodded solemnly. I guess I lost then.
Whoa!
Damn, Hannah, that was some natural-born talent right there. I don't really think so. Anyways, the next match is Shane versus Paul. PBG remained quiet for a while after that. It wasn't until the 3rd round that he joined in again, cheering with the rest of us guy. My match rolled around, but this time it's against Jared, and this time I lost only in a few minutes. I set the controller down again, happily to no longer have responsibility over the life and death of inanimate pixels. I did so. I saw Paul lean in to whisper something to Shane, whose eyes flew wide open and his face shut down. Over my dead body. Their eyes slid to me and I looked away. They were talking about me, weren't they? I scooted over to Mai, feeling more comfortable near her than any of the other guys. We tripped her up to Jared right up to the very end. He lost to a supernaturally agile Shane, who was seemingly more fueled by rays of 1,000 demonic toddlers. Everyone, that was a great round. Looks like we're even better shape than last year. Well, all of us except BBG. That was uncalled for. Totally deserved. Anyways, I'm tired, so get out of my room, please. He grinned broadly, not finding anything wrong with how he summarily dismissed us. Mai and I gathered our things and left the room with the others, who were laughing and joking, dispersed in all different directions. Oh, hi, Four Seasons. Together we shuffled home. We fell through the doorway, exhausted, barely enough energy to change into our PJs. Mai leaped onto her bed with a happy sigh. Oh, Hannah, I'm glad you came to Asagao. As if this would happen without me here. Mai shoved her face in the pillow and emitted a muffled reply. Yeah, whatever you say. I fell in my bed staring at the rungs that kept Mai and her mattress from collapsing onto me and smothering to death in the night. That was really fun. Video games are fun, Mai.
Really?
Really? She shuffled around on top of her bed. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was passable. I don't know if I'd call it super fun or anything.
Really?
No? I loved it. She chuckles. Seems like you found your calling. I'm sure I have. I thought my young.
Let's just go to sleep.
I'm exhausted. Smiling, I got turned out turned out for our light.
Good night.
Night, Mai. Alright, guys. I can't play anymore. My voice, I'm actually sick today, so I can't be doing this. I can't. I can't be doing this. I'm dying. I'm sick today. I shouldn't be doing this. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Hey guys, I'm just doing something before I go. Anyways, I can't talk. I wish I'd still have my popsicles, but I ate them all today because I'm sick. I gotta go. It was fun playing, but I wish I could play till 7, but I couldn't. Alright, I'll see you guys around.